106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hey guys, it's me, Gabe. I'll tell you, it is Lethal Weapon, guys. It's Wednesday, December 18th. I'm so happy to be here. My microphone is on. So I was in the kitchen talking to my son as the music was playing. So I gotta edit this real quick. Look at me flying around the screen there. Let me make this big. Welcome, and we're gonna have a great night. Jericho's running a little late. I know. You guys like the little I got two mustaches and a little beard now. Yeah, I cut the sides off and all that. You know, I've lost weight. My face is thinner. So, I decided to see what my face looked like. Chrome is here. Think about what you think about is here. Michael Coulter is here. I saw Hardy Harmonica. Hector is here. Yeah, we're going to do Lethal Weapon tonight. It's going to be awesome. Riggs and Murtaugh. And that is it. Nick Millen is the villain. Oh my gosh. Spoiler alert. This movie's almost 40 years old, so I can't really spoil it. So if you haven't seen it, then I don't know what to tell you. This is a great one. Now, I could have told myself the same thing like 3-4 years ago because I hadn't seen it. But before we get going on that, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a change up, little addition to what I'm doing here on YouTube. I'm going to start, believe it or not, talking about Big Man Comics a little bit in recorded videos and live here a little bit because I want to start promoting it. We've been ramping up the company for over a year now. You know, we got the first book. We had the first book with that guy that ripped me off. That's whatever. That's done. But then Dean Cain, All-American Lawman, great success. We had the Christmas cover. Thank you. Success there. It was a beautiful thing. And we've got Imperium is done. The drawings are done. I hired a colorist, signed the contract yesterday. And so I'm just a writer and an illustrator now. This is the dream. I don't have to grind and color all the time. I'll color my own covers. But let me show you. I'm going to sneak peek, premiere right here, the first page of Tyrus, the Unstoppable Tyrus. My buddy Akion is the penciler for this book, and I am the inker. I was going to have him do just layouts, and then I was going to pencil, then ink, and I realized that'll be a lot slower. He's a lot more experienced than me, and I want to get this thing out by Comic-Con in July. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but that's my goal. It's 120 pages. Imagine like Ninja Turtles, Incredible Hulk, like superhero stuff, but with some lore and some ancient lost civilization stuff thrown in too. So I will give no explanation, but I'll show you what I was working on here. Let me remove this. I'm going to share my screen. Then I want to talk about one culture war thing that has to do with movies and all that. And then hopefully Jericho will be in here soon. Let's see. What is everyone talking about? Let's see. Hector. Is that my friend from Tijuana, Mexico? Get better, friend, with your knee or leg surgery. No good, no good. But you're healing up. Let's see. Lethal Weapon is good choice. Michael Coulter says. Chrome says, "What's up to everybody?" I switched up, trying to find something. You're gonna love it here. We have a lot of fun here. Me and my friend Jericho, we do a lot of improv comedy and review the 80s movies. What more could you ask for? What's the deal with improv? We have a ton of fun. And Chrome, if you don't know me, I feel like I've seen your name though in the chat. I feel like I know you. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But if you don't know me, I was a artist for Marvel and DC Comics, mostly DC Comics for 15 years. I quit because they were woke weirdos. I didn't want to help them make woke crap. I've gone independent, and it's been a beautiful success story. So that's that there. Good evening, JG, as usual. Yeah, he's late for a very important date. Mr. Reese is here. Think about what you think about. Got his Christmas edition of the Dean Cain, and it looks awesome. Thank you for getting that, man. I was so happy to do that. It was kind of a last minute project, but I was excited. Let me show you, boys and girls. I finished the script for The Unstoppable Tyrus, and my friend started doing the pencils, and then I'm doing the inks. So it's that's what we're doing now, and I'll show you what I'm working on. You ready to see it? I'm going to show you a page and then a panel from the double page spread, and that's it. I'm not going to explain anything, but you're going to love this. Share screen. You know what? I'm not going to show you all that. I'll show you one thing with zero context. I'm not explaining crap to you guys, and that'll be it. Okay. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. Share. This is what I was inking. These are my inks, my buddy's pencils. And this is The Unstoppable Tyrus. It's going to be fully colored. I hired a great colorist for this. And what does it say there? Could not. Oh, be quiet. I hired a great color, but I was inking this baby all day. So if you love Ninja Turtles, superheroes, Incredible Hulk, and you love ancient civilizations and mysteries, you're going to love The Unstoppable Tyrus. Look at this. Look at this. So yeah, this is what I was working on all day. And yeah. What does it mean to ink? What it means to ink is that someone will draw a loose drawing in pencil, and then to speed up production, a second artist will come along and ink it. So I will finish the drawing. And that just makes things way faster because you can work on two things at once. One guy's penciling, one guy's inking. So that's what I'm doing with my buddy Acheon. He illustrated the Dean Cain book and Empyrean, and he's going to be penciling this, and then I'm going to be inking it. And then I hired a colorist. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Yo, Gabe, Chrome has been here for a while. So I have to, by the way, have you ever reviewed 48 Hours, the movie's hilarious? No, I haven't. I was going to say, I've seen Chrome's name forever, but he said he was looking for something to do. Maybe he wasn't talking about this show. Because I was like, I know Chrome. Is this a different Chrome? So I don't know. But yeah, let me all know what you think of these fine inking skills here. And yeah, we got a lot of mutants. You know what I mean? I call them, you're going to love this. I made this up for the book, mana beasts. That's right. We don't call them mutants. We call them mana beasts. But yeah, this is my work here, and I can't wait to see it colored. I got a fantastic colorist for this. I just didn't want to color anymore. I don't want to do it. I did it for the better part of 15, 20 years. At my peak there at DC Comics, I was doing 1,000 pages a month, guys. 1,000 pages a month. No, thank you. No more. And I'll show you a snippet from another page. This was yesterday's work. So yeah, this is The Unstoppable Tyrus, page, some stuff from page 1, 2, and 3. Not going to show you much else though. So this, I'd like to have it done by July. Oh, there's like a moth. There's a moth blind right there. I didn't let you in my house. That's Biden. Borders wide open. Moths just come right in. So yeah, let me know if you're into this. Let me know if you think it's fancy. If you think it's cool. Hey, Mr. Reese, if I said 1,000 a month, I misspoke. I'm thinking of like 5 things here. About 1,000 a year. There's no way to color 1,000 pages a month. If I said a month, I completely misspoke. 1,000 a year, which, by the way, is insane. Let's see. Is the coloring part tedious? The thing for me is I love coloring. It's such a satisfying kind of zen thing to do. Yeah, I can kind of turn my mind off, and I listen to audiobooks and sports radio, and I've listened to the Bible back and forth like 3 times while I've been coloring, but I've done enough of it. You know what I mean? I've mastered that. I climbed that mountain, and it's like you get to the peak of one mountain and you look at like, oh, there's another peak over there. So now I'm proving myself as a writer and an illustrator and an inker and all that stuff. And it's going great. It's really a lot of fun. So I'm having a blast with this stuff. And I'm inking on my, I'll show you my tools right here. Tools of the trade. I'm inking on this iPad here. You know what I mean? That's how, there's a great program called Procreate. It's $10. It's $9.99. And it literally mimics all the real tools you have. And I don't know, it's a fantastic tool to use. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Can't wait to get this thing done. This is something that I've been working on for over a year, kind of in the background, but we finally started working on the illustration. So yeah, JG, he's late. He's late. That's what he does. Text me, half an hour before the show, tells me he's gonna be late. That's our boy Jericho. So, but I want to talk to you. I was about to say, Gabe, you're a machine gun 1,000. No, you literally can't do something like that. You can't. There's no way to do that. You would injure yourself and you wouldn't be able to do a good job. I don't see how that's possible. I was doing about 1,000 a year, and that was burnout city. That was crazy. So yeah, and it's funny when you're a colorist and you're in demand in this business, and they know you can get it done. You don't just do books. You do posters. You do special things. You do limited edition covers. You do special projects. It's all kinds of stuff that they keep asking you to do. So one thing I did want to talk about, though, is I saw this story yesterday, and I love it, and I think it's fantastic news. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I recorded a video that will come out tomorrow. But I want to share this with you guys in case you don't get a chance to see that. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so Disney Plus, they make original programming and all kinds of stuff, right? So I guess they have a cartoon coming. And in the cartoon, it's a co-ed kids baseball team. And they had a whole transgender storyline written for this, right? They had that done. And this is for kids. And this is what we keep telling these people. This is for kids. We don't hate you, LGBTQ, but this is for kids. So Disney took it out. They took it out. They gave an exclusive statement to the Hollywood Reporter. A spokesperson for Disney confirmed that the story arc was removed. And that story arc, again, is Disney pulls transgender storyline from Pixar's Win or Lose streaming series. This is for little kids. And they pulled it, because the cultural pressure. And the story arc was removed and provided the following statement to the Hollywood Reporter. When it comes to animated content for a younger audience, we recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children on their own terms and timeline. Guys, keep standing up, keep speaking out, keep pushing back against cancel culture, wokeism, all the DEI, all the feminist man-hating bullshit, all the America-hating crap, all the stuff where, oh yeah, let's invade countries with tons of immigrants and just completely flip the culture and change it. That works on white people in Europe, but then over here in America, it's like, oh, the indigenous people, it's their country, you can't invade it. So they want to have that both ways. And it's all it is anti-white racism. That's all that is. And so, yeah, it's good. You see things crashing down for the left. They're in disarray. They ran their horrible candidate for president. They were humiliated. Trump won in a landslide, and it was a landslide, and there was a mandate. You saw today, the Congress is trying to pass that omnibus bill with $1 bajillion of pork and special interests and all kinds of corrupt shit. And Elon Musk and everybody on Twitter was saying, hey, any Republican that votes for this, we're going to primary you in 2 years and you're done. Elon Musk buying Twitter and what it is doing to expose the DEI and the woke and the corrupt politicians, all that, putting pressure on Disney, putting pressure on all this stuff. It's amazing what's happening. This cultural thing that's going on, it's amazing. We are getting our culture back. Because the promise, at least in America and most of the West, is there's a moth in here. If you worked hard, you'd have a good life. Maybe you wouldn't have a Ferrari or a mansion or, a summer home in whatever, France, but you'd be able to afford things and you wouldn't be worrying about, should we pay the gas this month or should we pay the electric? And, should we call the water people until we're going to be late? And people are living that way. I remember living that way when I was young, 20 something years ago, and I was in college, 99 to 2004-ish. We were poor, me and my wife. We were very poor, check to check. It was terrible. And, God has blessed us. I do very well now, thanks to you guys supporting Big Man Comics. But I didn't forget. So my politics are, obviously God and family first, but my politics are always not self-interest. It's cultural interest. I want the things that were in my culture that benefited me and my wife when we were young, scared, and broke, and we were parents. And I was 18 and she was 20. And there was so much opportunity that if we were willing to put our heads down and work hard, we made it, baby. You know what I mean? And I want that for others. There's that saying of you walk through the door of success and you slam it behind you. I don't believe in that. I think that's crap. And that's why I support Trump and all the MAGA movement and all that stuff, because I know that's what they're trying to do. It's sincere. They're trying to give the promise of America back to the middle class, and the elites, they don't hate the poor. They hate the middle class. They resent you out there trying to make it and work hard. The poor are no threat to them. The destitute and poor, that's not a threat to them. But the middle class, when they get married and they have kids and they have families, they become an unstoppable force in society for good. And the elites, they don't like that. They like vacuuming up all the money. And the weird thing is they're already millionaires and billionaires. And it's like they want more and more. It's like Gollum with the ring. They got like sick in the head over money. It's really disgusting. Let me check on the chat here. Joe Musashi's just relaxing, and you put a chick in it and make her LGBTQ. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I also believe they changed because Trump won. 100%, Mr. Reese. That's what's going on here. Again, the concept is called the cascade preference. It's like that thing where you got 100 people being oppressed by one guy with a whip or a weapon, and then one person stands up, then two people stand up, and then like 30 people stand up, and it's like, oh, we outnumber these people. There are more of us. There are more good guys than bad guys. And I think it's, and people are afraid to do it. Like I did it years ago when it wasn't safe, and it cost me. I couldn't work at DC Comics anymore because I stood up politically and said, I'm not doing this crap with you guys. Because remember, that's why I left DC Comics. They wanted me to make an anti-American woke Superman comic where one of the main plot points was the sexuality of Superman's underage. Let's get that right. Underage son. And I said, fuck no, I'm not doing that. I don't do stuff like that. What in the world is wrong with you people? And it's nice to see Disney forced. I don't think they want to do this. I think they are ideologues that hate family and hate America and hate culture. And they're forced to do this because I think maybe the economics don't make sense anymore for them. But I absolutely quit doing that stuff because I didn't want to be involved in that. I think that's crap, and I think it's disgusting. I don't think it's okay. I think that's a really nasty thing to be involved with. You don't let kids, I said in the video I recorded for tomorrow, let kids be kids. There's nothing like, my granddaughter turned 2 the other day, and my kids are adults, but I remember that 2 to 5 years old. It's the greatest time in the world. You're outside, you flip a rock over, there's bugs under it. You're drawing on the wall with crayons. You're doing goofy faces at each other, just blowing bubbles in the air, and they hysterically laugh and just dance a dance of joy. Let kids be kids. We have to, because one thing that pisses me off is you'll see conservatives say, we don't want to be mean to the left or these people. We don't want to stoop to their level. It's like, that's how you got here. Understand when you're under attack, dude. Understand that you are. They don't care. They're ruthless. They hate you and your culture. When they say smash the patriarchy, they're telling you they want to destroy your culture. What do you think patriarchy is? It's your fathers and your fathers' fathers. It's your history. It's your culture. It's your religion. It's your language. It's your flag. It's your songs. It's your statues. It's your monuments. That's what your patriarchy is. It's called cultural patrimony. They want to destroy it. They've told you that clearly, and they haven't just said it. They're doing it. So you have to always follow the law. But when you see it, call it out. Humiliate, embarrass, mock. Don't take these people seriously. No pronouns, no nothing with kids, nothing. You tell them they are scum. You tell them this is wrong every time, like I have for years. You tell them that. The coast is clear now, thanks to guys like me, Matthew Martian, all those guys that stepped out early. You're welcome. Now you guys can do it too. Follow the law, but call this shit out. Always call it out. Let me see. I hope Elon Musk buys DC Comics. That'd be the greatest thing in the world. He buys it, and I'm the editor-in-chief. That would work for me. I heard the trailer for the new Superman film is coming tomorrow. I have no faith in it. I don't either. I think that James Gunn is a gifted filmmaker. I saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy. It was entertaining and funny, but there's a coarseness to his work, an ugliness. It's not quite Deadpool level of filth and ugliness, but it's there. It's in the same zip code, and I don't like that about his work. It's very cynical and hateful, too cool for school, very insincere, very insecure and validation-seeking kind of thinking going on with the writing there. So, no thanks. No thanks. Superman is one of the most pure cultural icons we have. He just stands for kindness and love. This moth is flying around my office. At least they aren't gross or poisonous. He just hit me in the cheek. But Superman is such an important icon for this country and this culture. And what they've done to him has been terrible. And again, it's why I quit. I gave up on a childhood dream of working at DC Comics. Stood on principle. You're welcome. And but it was no problem for me to do it, guys. I like it. What's the alternative? I'm going to help them make filth. You know how I feel about that stuff. No, thank you. So yeah, I'll be surprised if it's good. And I could see them doing a little Trojan horse. I could see them doing a hopeful, patriotic, kind, uplifting trailer. And then you go to the movie and you start getting woke crap and all that. I could see that. Because so far, DC Comics has just failed with their movies. Like they saw Marvel hit it big, and then they jumped out there with their Justice League and all. They jumped the gun. It was terrible strategy. And it's just been a joke. And DC Comics has been clowned and made fun of. Now, I'm biased because I worked there. And I got to go to 2 of the Hollywood premieres, Aquaman and Shazam. So in my mind, I can't help but like those because I was there. I was there with the crowd and the movie stars and the directors and my family. I took family members to go to this thing. So it's a real good memory for me. But I don't know. I have zero faith in it. I don't really pay attention to the mainstream comic book industry anymore. I couldn't tell you what books they're making. Let's see. Mr. Reese, The Cowardly Right. Yeah, man, the left, they get power and they go on a rampage and do everything they want. The right gets power, and then it's this pissing contest, this purity test of I'm the most pure, I'm the most kind, I'm the most understanding, and just letting us get destroyed as a people. It's terrible. But that's over because they wanted to pass that big bill in the Congress today, just spend $1 zillion and do all this crap and real nefarious, horrible things. And people were saying, and then most of all, Elon Musk, who has 200 zillion followers on Twitter, any Republican that votes for this, we're going to primary your ass in 2 years. And they bowed down. They pulled it. So they'll probably try another sneaky thing in the middle of the night or tomorrow or something. But, you can't do it. And we won a mandate that we want our damn country back for the middle class. Everything is dead outside here. Freaking cold. Where are you? Like Detroit or something like that? Jeez. One good thing about the winter, no bugs. Yeah, I don't like spider season. That's in San Diego. We'll get spiders back in May or June, and it'll go till September. Oh, I hate spiders. They disgust me. I don't like bugs, period. The moth I can deal with, the butterfly, potato bugs, those are cool. But spiders, they're just so gross with all those legs and all that stuff. Let's see. I hope Elon Musk buys DC and Marvel. Oh, I also heard that George Lucas is looking to come back to Star Wars. I hope it is. I hope they put Star Wars away forever and leave it alone. It turns out Star Wars would have been best left at those 3 movies. It really would have, And what's up with people not liking Return of the Jedi? No, I love Return of the Jedi. There's this group of people that are a little older than me. I'm 46, but they're about 50, 51, 52. And I think they were teenagers when Return of the Jedi came out. And it wasn't hardcore and badass enough because the little teddy bear Ewoks made them feel, I think it embarrassed them, made them feel like little boys or something. So to this day, a lot of those kind of people of that age, they hate Return of the Jedi, which is hilarious to me. Let's see. As Elsa would say, they're still talking about living up north. Living up north. No thanks. I went to college in Colorado. I was born in Colorado. I'm fine without the seasons. I'm fine here in San Diego. It's spring all year. We get a little cold in February. We get hot for 2 weeks in August, first week of September, maybe. But no, I'll take year-round spring. It's nice. Wear shorts every day. Heather, here we have a lot of scorpions, and I find centipedes in my house all the time. Well, as long as a moth isn't flying, hitting you in the face while you're trying to live stream. It was a tiny little moth, those little dinky ones. I'd like to know why God created things with 8 legs. He's God. He could do a thing. So why bugs? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, how could you know the infinite, right? Gabe, the scariest ones are those Brazilian wandering spiders. They hide in fruit. That sounds awful. Wasn't there a Star Wars movie just about Ewoks? Yes, there were TV specials. Star Wars, something, The Battle for Endor, and another one. They came out like a year or 2 after Return of the Jedi or something like that. I remember seeing them as a kid. So I was born in 78, so I was the perfect age for all that, because by the time Return of the Jedi came out, I was 5. So, I was fully ensconced in Star Wars forever. Yeah, so you guys are a little younger. If you think there were 2 Ewok movies, if you really were an 80s kid, you would know there were 2 Star Wars movies in the 80s. There absolutely were. They were mid to low budget. They were kind of strange. It's always weird to me to see Star Wars without Luke and Han and Leia. That's never made sense to me. That's why I like the prequels and then the new Disney stuff. I don't think the Star Wars universe is bigger than Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. I don't think there's more to Star Wars than that. Everything else in Star Wars, and who else? Oh, and Lando. Maybe Jabba, those bad guys in Tatooine. Lando for sure. He's the coolest dude in Star Wars. Him and Han Solo are tied for coolest dude. I think besides the original trilogy, it doesn't have juice. It just doesn't. Come to Australia, bug spiders, snakes, and crocs. No, thank you. What about a wallaby or a quokka or a kookaburra? Those don't seem dangerous. I lived in Iceland for from the time I was 6 months old until I was almost 3. So she lives for the cold. Jeez. Isn't Iceland where they have that like Reykjavik or whatever, where that volcano's always spewing stuff into the sky? Michael Coulter, I live in Texas, so I don't have to worry about no bugs in the wintertime. He just gets to go to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's whenever he wants. Think about what you think about. I used to live in Hawaii. I sure miss the weather there. Now I live in frozen Idaho. I used to live in Hawaii, and I will tell you right now, San Diego is nicer than Hawaii. Everyone wants to go to Hawaii for a vacation. Hawaii is humid. If you like saunas, you will like Hawaii. It's gross there. It's like living in an armpit. It's beautiful. It looks beautiful, but the weather's disgusting in Hawaii. I used to live there, and last time I was there was 2017. I went and visited there for just a couple days. Give me San Diego 7 days a week. Same beautiful beaches, same beautiful ocean sunsets, and none of the humidity. No, thank you. A quokka is adorable. I don't even remember what a quokka is. I just know I was at a zoo in Palm Springs in July. It was like 115. And but there were drinking fountains everywhere. So I must have drank a gallon of water walking around the zoo for 2 hours with all these desert animals. And we got to get into this enclosure that had a bunch of Australian animals. It had like kangaroos and wallabies and stuff like that. And then they had this big chart on the wall talking about the different Australian like mammals and marsupials and stuff. But I remember one was called a quokka or something. I thought was very funny. And there was a wombat too. La Jolla is way better than Hawaii. Some say I live very near to La Jolla. I'll leave it at that. La Jolla is probably the nicest place in America, by the way. Depends which part. Not all Hawaii is the same. It's all humid, Hardy. It's tropical. It's humid, man. It's beautiful. It's paradise, but it's stanky. If you love sweating, if you love taking a nice, cool, refreshing shower and then stepping out and feeling all dirty again in 30 seconds, you will love Hawaii. Let's see. A coworker at my job said Puerto Rico is better than Hawaii. I don't know. I've never been to Puerto Rico. It amazes me that anyone was able to survive in Australia and build cities. You know, I found out something fascinating about Australia. Maybe Tony can comment on the veracity of this concept. In the center of that horrible, horrible outback desert in the middle of Australia, where it's like nobody can survive because it's so flaming hot, there's an oasis of tons of water there, like with all these little tributaries and rivers and stuff. I saw it on a satellite, Google Earth image picture. It's crazy. I had no idea. Let's see. Heather says, oh, she's talking about San Diego and some of the highest taxes. Yeah, it's called the sunshine tax for a reason. Yeah, we pay to live here. Gasoline's about $1 more here in the state of California than everywhere else. Whatever you're paying for gas right now, you guys are all paying like 2 to 3, just under 3, right? Like 250, 270, 220. Here it's like 450. The good stuff is almost $5, but we're used to it here. But yeah, it just costs more to live here. And in fact, San Diego, I know in the last year, I read a news article saying it was the most expensive city in America to live in. More than Manhattan, San Francisco, Honolulu, LA. San Diego had the highest cost of living. So I need you to go to bigmancomics.com and buy all my comics. But I want to know what you guys think. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see the tide turning. And I want to pinch myself. I kind of can't believe it when I see these things start to happen and you hear about universities and like different companies shutting down their DEI departments, all this. But I kind of don't trust them because I think the people that push this stuff are snakes. I feel like, oh, well, they'll get rid of DEI, but then they'll just rename it and do something else. You know what I mean? I think they might do that. Because like, I don't know how many of you are into video games here, but a lot of video games have failed in the last couple year or two, and a lot recently in the last 6 months, because they have all this woke DEI, gender identity politics crap forced into a video game, like a sci-fi video game. So there's some of these games cost hundreds of millions of dollars to produce. So I read an article that an insider at one of these companies was saying what they're going to do is sell the game without any of that. And then when you buy the game, and for those of you that don't know, when you buy these big new video games, you download updates and patches that, oh, the jumping or the shooting or the whatever, or the money system or whatever wasn't working correctly. So we fixed it. Download this patch. So the rumor from an alleged insider at one of these companies said they're going to sell the game as very normal, straightforward action adventure, no woke crap, and then fix it with patches. Oh, maybe graphics acceleration or blah, blah, blah. And then when you download the patch, all the woke stuff and the pronouns comes into the game. That way they can Trojan horse you into buying it. Because these games that have come out in the last 6 months that have been woke in their launch and their advertising, they have failed and cost these companies hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Ubisoft, one of the biggest video games companies in the world, the word is they're going into bankruptcy and looking to be liquidated, like sold off or something like that. So I think the strategy might be to Trojan horse this stuff, which is diabolical to me. Let's see. Gabe, you're right. I love me some Buc-ee's. Dude, go to Buc-ee's tomorrow and get the XXL chopped brisket from me. Brisket on the board. Oh, Buc-ee's roast their own briskets. Guys, if you haven't been to Buc-ee's, get your ass to Mars, as Arnold says in Total Recall. Get your butt to Texas. I think they have some in Louisiana, some in Florida, and they have one in Colorado now. They got to open one here in California. And it's a wonderland. Imagine if 7-Eleven was good. But imagine if they had every kind of snack food you can imagine, like every. You think of something, the rarest thing, they have it. But they also do fresh brisket, and they do like all kinds of sandwiches and breakfast sandwiches and tacos and burritos. And the food there, it's so good. These places are always packed. It's insane. Buc-ee's is a wonderland. Joe Musashi says, I'm looking forward to the new Double Dragon game, Double Dragon Revive. I've never heard of that. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, how great were the video game arcades, right, guys? And you love to go to the arcade, bring your quarters, this and that. And Double Dragon, I couldn't beat it. There was that guy, Abobo or whatever. He was the big guy that would smack you on both sides of the head. And if you don't know what Double Dragon is, it's basically like a Van Damme movie. It's two brothers going to save the girlfriend of one of the brothers or something like that. And they just have to fight through the streets and the bad guy warehouses. And it's every 80s action movie trope. And I couldn't beat it. You know, I was 8, 9 years old. We were at Frankie's Pizza in Rancho Bernardo, California. My brother and I and some older kids, like high schoolers, were playing it. And they had a bunch of quarters. They were doing good. And they were getting further and further and further. And they beat the game. It took like an hour or something. We were sitting there watching. Well, we were supposed to go to Frankie's and come right back, like a 15-minute walk from my house. This is back in the old days when 8, 9, 10-year-olds could walk around without the cops being called. And my mother was freaking out. There were no cell phones, nothing like that. She didn't know where we were, you know, because we had gone to play basketball or gone to do something. And then we stopped at Frankie's Pizza, maybe to get a slice or maybe to play Double Dragon. And we stayed real late watching these kids beat it. We got home, we got yelled at so bad. So it was a different world. Better in a lot of ways. Let's see. It was awesome. I miss the arcades. Yeah, there was nothing like arcade games, man. Just going to the arcade. I went to a really good arcade the other day. I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago because my daughter did stand-up at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club at the Link Casino. And when we got to Vegas at lunchtime, she did stand-up at night. I went to the Pinball Hall of Fame. It's just at the south end of the Las Vegas Strip, right by the Mandalay Bay and all that. It's across on the east side of Las Vegas Boulevard. And it probably has 200 or 300 machines in it. And they're classic video game machines from the 80s and the 90s. They go all the way back to the 30s and 40s, some of the pinball machines and old stuff. But you can play all those things that you loved from the old days when you were a kid. It's really fun. I recommend it to anyone. It's free admission, and everything's like a quarter to get in and stuff like that. Really fun. Yeah, they got difficult ramped up on the arcade game. Yeah, I think arcade games were made to have you play for 45 seconds per quarter, about a minute or so. The games were really hard, especially when you're a little kid. You're no good at this stuff. And my grandma hated it. You know, my grandparents were from the Great Depression, right? So she hated Nintendo, is what she called it. She hated video games. She just, oh. And I loved there was an arcade called Tilt at the Greeley Mall in Greeley, Colorado. And I would spend my summers in Greeley, go from San Diego to Colorado to visit my dad and my grandparents, my mom's parents, and then my dad lived out there in Colorado. And my grandma knew I liked the arcade at the mall, and she hated it. And I lied to my grandma one day that I wanted to go to the pet store because the pet store was next door to Tilt, the arcade. And she had a big change bowl. But this is a terrible story. I was like 10. I'm not a thief, but I did take like $1 or $2 in quarters out of this giant change bowl she had on her dresser. And then she went off to, Montgomery Ward or Sears to look at clothes. And I went into Tilt instead of the pet store. And I played Spy Hunter, which I loved. So, Granny, I'm sorry. I was not completely honest about my intentions. I was not honest. I was lying. Michael Coulter says, Gabe, yes, my brother, let me tell you, the gaming industry has way too much woke crap, and I'm tired of it. I'm a gamer, and I've been gaming for 39 years. And it said, yeah, I love video games. I don't play them. I don't have any time. I just, I was inking like 8-10 hours a day. That stuff I was showing you, it's a lot of work, and writing comic books, all the stuff, running my business. It's a lot of work. And I just feel like if I got into video games, I might play them too much. But I do love them. I think they're amazing art. And I really take offense to the woke people sabotaging them and ruining them. I think it's disgusting, Kara says it's been fun. She has to cut this short. Good night. God bless and Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you too. I won't see you guys on Christmas. I'm not going to do a show on Christmas. I'm going to be with family. I'm going to be chilling. I'll be watching It's a Wonderful Life. And, people get misty when they watch that movie at the end. People get teary-eyed at the climax of that movie. I don't know what that's about. Let's see. So have a good night, Kara. Hector says the elbow move in Double Dragon was broken. Still a classic, playing X-Men with 5 other people. Oh my gosh, the X-Men cabinet, right? One of those big arcade cabinets that had 4 or 5 controllers, and you could be you could be like Storm, Cyclops, Colossus. Remember Colossus? If you did his super, he would go, he would just flex, and all the other bad guys on the screen would fly away. That was awesome. Think about what you think about. Hasn't had time to play a video game in 2 years, dude. That stinks. Let's see. Just got to Jada Toys Dawson figure. Yoga Fire. Merry Christmas, Gabe. Oh, thank you very much. The Ragu Overlord. Yeah, I think the Street Fighter designs are some of the best. That's why at my drawing desk, hold on, I have not one. Hold on. Sorry, it's stuck. I have Udon's The Art of Capcom at my desk. It's such an inspiration for me. It has tons of the art for the Street Fighter books and all that. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan of that artwork. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade turtles. Yes, that's very similar to the X-Men arcade. That's an awesome one. And at the Pinball Hall of Fame in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, they have that. They have the X-Men game. They have the Ninja Turtles. They have Off-Road. They have all kinds of great games there. Yeah, that's really awesome. I remember the first Ninja Turtle game that came out for the 8-bit Nintendo. I wanted it so bad, and I got it, and it's such a broken piece of crap. Do you guys remember that game? It was awful. The controls were terrible. You jump and hit your head and fall. You couldn't jump over small gaps correctly. They'd run out of life energy so fast. It was such a terrible video game. I think they rushed the game out to cash in on the popularity of Ninja Turtles without really putting it together in a good way. So, yeah, I'm a huge fan of video games, but again, don't have time. I don't make time for them. I've wanted to get Space Marine 2 because I played the first one 10 years ago, 12 years ago when it came out, whatever, and loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then the new one came out and everyone said it was amazing. And I don't even have the correct system to play it because I don't have a PC. I have a Mac and I don't have a modern system like an Xbox. It's an Xbox X is the new one and then a PlayStation 5. I don't have those. I have no way to even play it. So for me to get Space Marine 2, I'd have to spend $500-$600 just on the machine. And then is it $100, $60 for the game. So I'm not investing like $700 to play one video game. It doesn't make any sense to me. Wasn't there an ET game back then? Yes, for the Atari, there was an ET game that was had one-man program. This is back in the early 80s, right when the movie came out. And this is one of those things which rushed to cash in on the hype of the movie. And it was so awful and atrocious and unplayable. They took all the cartridges they could and buried them in a landfill instead of selling this thing. I am not making this up. This is absolutely true. You can look into this. And the Angry Video Game Nerd, who's the first YouTuber I ever watched, that's a big plot point in his movie that he made. He made a movie like 10 years ago. But yes, that the ET game was rushed out garbage. So I don't know. That's a big part of being an artist is trying to balance the art and the commerce of it. Because on the one hand, it's like you want to get stuff out. And on the other hand, it's like, well, you want to do as good a job as possible. And there is a fine line to do both. I don't think you have to sacrifice one for the other. You can get things done in a timely manner and do your best work if you have this one little thing called discipline, also known as grit. If you're foolish and childish and you're impulsive and selfish, well, then sure, you're going to do bad work quickly, or you're going to do decent to middling work slowly. I don't think if you work really slowly because you're goofing off and being lazy, you can ever do your best work, because your stance emotionally, your persuasion, your self-persuasion is not one of hard work. So even when people say, oh, it takes forever to make quality, yes, if you're working hard, it can take a long time. But if all that time you're taking is goof off time, you're not going to do your best work, even if you take forever to make something. So yeah, that's a misconception. Let's see. Xbox One X is the newest. Okay, yeah, I'm not. It's called Xbox One X. Oh, I thought it was Xbox X. I don't know. I guess I am. I guess I am getting older. I don't know what the hell's going on here with that stuff. That game was so bad. Which game? Oh, you're talking about the ET game. Yeah, it was historically bad. The only way to beat the Nintendo TMNT was to max up the Dragon Scroll item. What systems did you have as a kid? The first system I ever had was a system from Atari that completely failed because I never, if you try to look it up, it's so hard to find. Everyone had the Atari 5200. I had this thing called the Atari 7800. And I tried to look it up for years and I could never find anyone that had it. But here's a picture of it right here. Hold on. This is the Atari 7800. Let me show you. That's the Atari 7800. And the first games I had was a game called Food Fight, Robotron 1984, and Xevious. Xevious was like an overhead sci-fi shooter. Food Fight was a black background, and you were like an elementary school kid, and there was just food around. And if you stood next to the food and pushed the action button, you would throw the food like a machine gun of pies or watermelon. And there were chefs running around, and you had to get the chefs dirty with the food. Robotron, you were like a futuristic soldier, and there were just these robots coming at you. You had to shoot them. It was kind of like asteroids. But I had the Atari 7800. Apparently, I was the only kid that had it. But then in 1988, my parents got us a Nintendo, the 8-bit Nintendo, and that changed my life forever. And I got a subscription that I paid for myself to Nintendo Power for $12, I think $12.99 for the year. And I absolutely love Nintendo Power. I loved reading that magazine from cover to cover. So I was a Nintendo kid, never a Sega guy, never a PlayStation guy, always a Nintendo guy. So I do have a Nintendo Switch, the new system, but I bought it about 7 years after it got released. I only bought the Switch a year ago, I think. So, and that thing's been out for 6, 7 years. But I did buy it because the Zelda Breath of the Wild that came out like 7 years ago, my son told me it was amazing. And my favorite game was the Super Nintendo Zelda A Link to the Past from 1993. So I said, oh, there's a really cool new Zelda game. I played that Breath of the Wild, and I got hooked on that. And I played it for a good 3 months because the world is so big. And then they made the Twilight Princess game like last year, and I got a hold of that and played that for a good 3 months in my spare time. But other than that, I haven't gamed in like 10 years. So I played, I guess, like 2 Zelda games. Oh, there was a third one, a Princess Zelda game came out like 3 months ago. I played that. It was a much shorter game, though, really short game. Gabe, Greeley, Colorado. I actually missed that small little town, but the place I miss most of all besides Denver is Cherry Creek. My uncle lived in Cherry Creek. My cousins went to Cherry Creek High School. So there you go. It's a small world after all. Xbox Series X is the latest Xbox. I have that one. Yeah, I just don't want to spend $700 to play one game. Space Marines are some of the coolest things in the world. I'm an OG Warhammer guy. I started playing and collecting Warhammer stuff in 90. In 1990, I found Warhammer miniatures at a hobby shop 3 blocks from my grandma's house in Greeley, Colorado, visiting for the summer, called Don's Hobbies. And they had the little silver pewter miniatures that you could paint. And I'm an artist. I love painting. I love dioramas. I love model airplanes. I went in there because I was looking for model airplanes and stuff. And I leaned over this one counter and I saw like orcs and space marines. And then I got the source books and looked at those in the store. I never had any money. And me and my brother would go to Don's Hobbies every day in the summer and just look at the stuff and never really buy any of it because we didn't have any money. We must have annoyed the piss out of that guy. We were there for so many days that summer. Eventually I got a little bit of money and bought some of it. And I never really played Warhammer though. I mostly love to paint it and build the models and build the dioramas and all that stuff. I got to tell you guys about the guilt train. Speaking of dioramas, all that. Gabe had the Power Glove. I'm wearing 2 Power Gloves right now on my feet. Let's see. The X-Men game, I played it in Circus. And once when I was in Las Vegas on my way to see my family, I'm like, that's awesome, dude. Those are great memories, man. So talking about Warhammer and models, all that, let me tell you a Christmas story. When I was in 6th grade, this is like 89, 90 was the year I was in 6th grade, right? Yeah, 89, 90. I live next door to a E-2 Hawkeye pilot. The E-2 Hawkeye is a Navy plane with a radar dish on top. You may have seen it. His name was Fred. His wife's name was Carol. And my mom was friends with Carol. I was a sixth grader. I was 11 years old. And Fred was into model trains, apparently. And their garage was open. They lived next door. My mom was talking to Carol. And I just wandered into the garage there. I was a big 11-year-old. I was already like 6 feet tall. A little kid, but very big. And I looked in the trunk of his car or something, and I saw a styrofoam mountain and some trains and some train tracks and some buildings and some things like that. Welcome to the show, Jericho.
What up?
I'm telling the guilt train story, so you'll have to indulge me.
Oh, please go
But
on.
You're doing good?
Yeah, everything's great.
Okay.
Okay. Glad to be here.
All right, awesome. Good to have you, brother. So I see this train in Fred's garage, and I go, "Oh, cool!" That's it. This is like November, October, Christmas morn. I'm going to say morn, by the way, because this is a tale. Christmas morn. My brother Abraham and I were opening presents. We get some clothes. We get some this. We get some that. We got multiple packages of HO scale trains, train track, styrofoam mountain. I don't want any of this. I don't want a train. I'm not interested in it at all.
Dude, you put out in the universe, man.
Ugh. But I had said, "Oh, cool," when I saw it because he had a cool hobby and he did good work on it.
Oh, cool.
Now, me and my brother are not shitheads. We did not tell my mom or stepdad we didn't want this. They were like, "Oh, like, you got to act happy." And they were so happy, and what a great gift. I noticed that you liked it. Oh my God, the guilt. The guilt. This, me and my brother call it the guilt train to this day. Guys, this is 30 something. This is 1989. Yeah, Christmas of 89. The guilt train. So a 4x8 sheet of plywood with 2x4 legs. They build us a train city in the garage.
You're not fucking around.
We put the green paper with the sprinkled grass. We put the styrofoam mountain. We put the train tracks. I took an F-14 Tomcat on a paperclip and stuck it in the top of the mountain so I could spin it around. I had a full working city here. I put a lighter on the Tomcat to do battle damage to it. And I hated playing with this train. I never told my mom, and my brother wouldn't tell her either. So we go and we would like fake it. We'd go down there and turn it on, and woo, we'd play with the guilt train for like half an hour and then go back up and play Star Wars Man or something like that we were actually interested in. And it was like the Telltale Heart. You can just hear the heart. It's just bothering him. The train would just bother me. I'd walk through the garage. I'd see it. I'd think about it. So, I haven't played with the train in a week.
Train.
I haven't played a train in a month. And then my mom was like, "Why don't you play with your train?" And then we go, "Oh, okay." We go play with it. And eventually, after about a year, they figured out that we didn't like this thing. And then the train kind of went away. But Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You had such good intentions. You were trying to be kind. And I never let on that I didn't want that train. I never let on. To my credit, I didn't let on.
Dude, they probably went to bed that night and like high five, like we nailed it.
Right.
We got
nailed the train gift.
Nailed it.
Well, it is, we have the old canard. It is better to give than receive, but it is. When you give a great gift and you see the light in someone's eyes and the happiness and fulfillment, that's so much better than just getting another box of crap. You know what I mean? So, the guilt train, my bad, Mom, my fault.
Might be.
Maybe I bought my mom something she doesn't want.
Yeah. She's like, "Mom, how come you don't wear that necklace?" So, yeah, we've all been there.
So how are you today, man? How you doing?
Good. I think Christmas of '89 was a good one for me too.
What happened?
88 or 89. I think it was 89. I got a remote control car. I got a BB gun. I mean, it was just a good morning, dude. It was just a great morning. That's probably my best Christmas of '89. I couldn't wait and I got a new jacket, like a parka, so I could wear it outside. It was cold. And man, as soon as we got done, threw all the wrapping paper in the fireplace, man, we were outside playing remote control cars, shooting cans. And then our neighbors they owned a video store, so we'd get the cardboard cutouts when they were done with them and put them around the front yard and shoot them with my BB gun and shit. So yeah, man, Christmas '89, that's all time right there.
What is do you have a birthday that stands out, like one of your birthdays? I have two that really stand out, but I'll let you go first if you got one. And don't worry, we'll get the Lethal Weapon, people. I'm just, easing Jericho into this.
I have two birthdays that come to mind. One of them I probably can't talk about here. But when I was a kid, my 8th birthday, and it sticks out for 2 reasons. One reason is I had all my friends there, so that was cool. I got I don't know if you remember that cartoon called Silverhawks.
Oh yeah, Silverhawks,
Yeah, that was
partly
the shit.
mental, partly real. The
Dude, that
Copper
shit
Kid.
looks so
Come
cool.
on, they got the Copper Kid.
Yeah, man, that shit just looks so cool. The cartoon was great.
That was the
I got,
same guy that did Thundercats and
oh yeah, Lion-O and
but then there
Chitara
was
and
a shark
Panthro.
too. There was a it wasn't Street Sharks, it was something because there was Mako and a bunch of shark. It was just like Thundercats and just like Silverhawks, but it was something in the water. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up. But go ahead, go ahead.
I feel like I remember that. But yeah, Thundercats. I don't even know how many seasons Thundercats was on. I feel like it wasn't that long, but it made an impact. But Silverhawks was a shit cartoon, and so I got like 2 Silverhawks toys that birthday, and that was super cool. Like back when you would like play with your toys in your room or in the bathtub or whatever, and your imagination was just at its peak. So that was cool. My best buddies were there, and then also, and I didn't realize this until after, and then you truly don't understand it until years later after you have children. But I think I've told you this before. But my dad, uh, my mom was in there doing what moms do with the house full of kids at the birthday party. I think one of the other moms was there too. That was a friend. So my dad was outside working on a car, and he comes in, and we had like the garage, and then it goes into the laundry room, and the laundry room goes into the den inside the house. So we were all in the den, and my dad just comes through, and he was limping right through the party. I noticed him, but it wasn't like he was like or anything like that. So I was like, oh, maybe he just hurt himself. So then my mom follows him out of the room, and she doesn't come back for a little while. And then she comes back. We finish the party and everything. And I go in there, and my dad is like, "Was that tiger sharks?"
Yeah,
Yeah, that looks like Thundercats.
same people did
Yeah,
this Silverhawks and Thundercats. Yeah.
yeah. Let me
Anyway,
guess. The guy on the right is like the big bruiser. Like he has a bad attitude, like a
yeah.
short temper and shit like that. And then you have the chicks. Yeah. And of course, the great white in the middle, he's the leader, the lion-o, if you will. But my dad, he goes limping through the party. My mom follows behind. So after the party, I go in there. My dad has his leg. He's like laying in bed, which my dad does not do in the middle of the day. Like my dad's not, he doesn't take naps. He's not the laying down type. So the fact that he was laying down was crazy. But he had his leg up, like elevated, and was all wrapped up. So I guess what happened was he was working on the car, and somehow the engine fell or the transmission fell. And like when you take the transmission out, there's like that
Oof.
gear, that's
Ooh.
like sticking out.
Right.
And I think that fell, and it like put a gash in the front of his leg, like along
That's
the side of his shin.
unbelievable. What
And
kind of
so
vehicle?
it was like a 1950 something, like a 57 Bel Air or something like that, like some tank. That was like one of his favorite cars. So yeah, it fell. It put a big old gash, like probably an 8-inch gash in his leg. And so my mom was a nurse, so she patched him up. She had all the shit. And I guess it didn't require stitches, but it was a pretty good fucking, trust me, that it was nasty.
I asked the internet, how much does the transmission to a 1957 Bel Air weigh? If you had the Turbo Glide automatic, it was 160 pounds.
Yeah, so pretty good.
Imagine
weight.
the point of a 160-pound tranny transmission hitting you in the shin.
Yeah, careful, buddy.
That's what we called them. Like
that's what we used to. Back when we were free, yeah, you could say shit like that.
You said that the tranny on the car, the transmission.
The tranny went out. That doesn't mean anybody was going on a date like it would now.
Right.
But back then, like, the tranny went out.
Yeah.
So it looked like it started like right below his knee and like looked like it dragged down his leg, basically. So it wasn't like a clean cut, but it was bad. But I understood that, I think, fully when I got older and had kids. Like my dad didn't want to distract from my party. He didn't want to, draw any attention. He was just, he had my mom come take care of it, but he didn't want to disrupt the party because, it was my birthday.
Yeah. Someone is talking football smack to you. Yo, Jericho, I'm sorry for your homeboy on the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers team. It's a damn shame that he quit right towards the end of the season.
Oh, forget that fool. What's his name? DeAndre, some
Did they have an
shit.
explanation? Is he having like a mental health crisis? Because it doesn't make any
Man,
sense.
I do not know, and I do not care. There's no reason for your ass to quit on your team, but they only gave him a 3-game suspension. I figured they would have cut his ass, but
Well, I heard they didn't want to cut him to reward him to go to another team. Imagine they cut him and then he goes to the the Green Bay and wins the Super Bowl or something.
yeah, nah, screw that shit, man. You got to go. There's no place for you here.
It makes no sense.
Like that.
Even though you're physically gifted to get into the NFL, you're still a hard worker. You had to work hard, lift weights, train, all this discipline stuff to get there and stay there. And then you're just like, one day that makes no sense to me.
I think most NFL players are like that, but I think some just have talent. And you've heard the stories of guys that, man, I never worked out. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Like, it was just pure talent. Maybe they didn't get as far as they could have if they mixed it with hard work. But some guys, their talent.
I don't know the veracity of this, but I was at a coach's clinic here in San Diego when I was coaching Pop Warner years ago. And one of the high school coaches at the school where he was a Dallas Cowboy, retired player, and he was teammates with Deion. And he said that about Deion Sanders. Deion didn't study. Deion didn't practice. Deion didn't lift weights. Deion was just a freak. He was just, and I find that hard to believe. Like, really, you're gonna do nothing against people who are doing all this weightlifting and training, and you're that physically talented? I find that hard to believe.
I don't know, man. I mean, some guys, you probably played with guys like that, who are just talented. They don't take it seriously. They don't try as hard as everyone else. But when come game time, they're doing some crazy shit, And
Maybe.
I
don't know. Seems weird to me.
Definitely weird.
Yeah. I got my memorable birthdays, my 14th birthday, right? 14. What year would that have been? It would be like 92 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 2 has come to the Super Nintendo. I'm in Colorado as usual, visiting for the summer. My dad's a gourmet chef who does not know how to cook for 2 or 3 people. He cooks for 500 people when he cooks for 3 people. We're having a birthday party at my dad's ranch outside of town. He's got acres in the country. And he's making this, he's making that, and he has to go to the store to get carrots or something. And he's making kefta. Imagine making a piece of a potato and slicing it, but not all the way through so you can open it like a book. And you stick hamburger with onion and parsley and stuff in it. So it's like a potato taco. You deep fry these things in lard. My brother and I are sitting in the living room about 30 feet away from the stove. He tells us, hey, I'm going to the store. And we're sitting there playing Street Fighter. I'd have to lean back and look to see around the little corner to see the stove and all that. And we can't beat Bison. We're using Guile. I remember we're at Bison.
Oh, dude, Guile's a shit.
And I think I got to 100 matches and I couldn't beat him. Finally beat Bison. Finally figured the game out. But we're playing there and we're losing. And we're playing and playing and playing. And I feel and hear like a rumble. I lean back and look. The stove has 4 feet of fire going up to the cabinets and the fan above the stove.
Whoops.
Yeah, my dad left 3 inches of lard frying kefta and walked out the door to the store and didn't tell us.
Didn't mention it.
And my dad is one of those guys that sometimes he will have 8 tasks going at once.
Mm.
Whenever he makes dinner, we always joke, the bread, because we'll be eating dinner at my dad. He'll make teriyaki chicken, T-bone steaks, hamburgers, salad, dessert fruit like watermelon stuff, corn on the cob, and then he'll always have garlic toast. And we always have burnt garlic toast because my dad is doing 50 things at once, and he has a few ovens in different parts of his home, and he'll do the bread out in the oven in his extension thing. So it'll be like, halfway through your meal, and my dad will go, the bread, and then he'll come back with black bread and be scraping the top with a knife. Happens almost every time, the fucking bread with my dad. So I see how he left.
No, go ahead.
Oh, so I see how he left the kefta frying while we're playing Street Fighter on my 14th birthday, waiting for my aunt and uncle and cousins and my grandma and grandpa. They're all coming over to eat for my birthday. I lean back. I see this inferno. I run to the kitchen. My brother runs in the kitchen. Grease fire. Mm-hmm. Dump out the big, tall plastic thing for sugar. Fill it with water. Grease fire. Dump a half gallon of water on the grease and go, oh, you can't do that. Fire gets bigger.
Yeah.
My brother, he's out. Taps out. He's like, he runs out the door of the house. He's
I'm out of here.
He's going to let the house burn down. Not me. I'm not a give up guy. I never quit at anything. I run to the house and grab like a sleeping bag, run back in the kitchen and beat the fire out. The pan flips off the stove, hits the plastic linoleum, burns a black circle of the cast iron pan, but I saved it. There's soot all over the cabinets, but I saved it. My uncle and them are pulling up right as this happens. My dad's got a driveway that's like a quarter mile long to his house, and I could see my uncle's big truck coming. He gets in there and starts cussing me out and yelling at me. So I get so pissed off, I run off and hide. Yeah, I'm 13 years old, right? I'm turning 14. I'm crying. I feel horrible. And then he's just a dick about it instead of like, hey, what happened?
Are you all right?
My uncle passed away, rest in peace, back in 2008. I didn't understand him until I was an adult, but I always thought he was a pretty mean guy. As I got older, I understood what it was. I got it now. But it was a real bad interaction between me and him, and I took off. And then my dad comes home from the store. What happened? Then my dad's looking for me, and he finds me out way somewhere far away on his property, just hanging out by a big propane tank on behind some bushes. So that is a very memorable birthday for me. So I was ready to have all this food I love, playing this video game I love that I bought with my own hard-earned fucking money. I bought the Street Fighter game. And then my dad left 3 inches of lard. The postscript on that is there's tons of leftovers. This is 92 because the Dream Team was in full effect with Jordan and all them. Mm-hmm. We go to my uncle's house, the one that yelled at me. There's leftovers. My dad gives them some of the kefta. And I stay at my uncle's house for 3-4 days with my brother. Well, guess what happened in my uncle's house with the kefta? It caught on fire in the stove, so it wasn't just me.
You should have been a dick to him. But yeah, how does it feel?
So there you go.
Yeah, well, don't cook kefta in your house. It might be hereditary.
Right.
So
if you're frying anything, kids, in oil, the pan's this high and the oil's that high. It's like a centimeter difference of the oil in the pan. And secondarily, you should probably stand there and watch it while it's deep fried.
Hey, but like any great chef, his mind is doing 5 different things at once, because you have to make sure everything's done at the same time so you can sit down.
Yeah, but my dad's one of those guys, and to this day, he doesn't ask anyone for help. He tries to do everything himself, and that's where he runs into trouble, because when he makes his dinner, he'll grill steaks and chicken and hamburgers, and he'll do that out on the barbecue outside. Then on the stove, he's got some, soup going, and he's got this going. And then he has an oven in the kitchen. He has the stove in the kitchen. Then he has an oven in the extension. So he'll be cooking in 4 places at once. Mm-hmm. And it's like, ask for help, So I went over there in May because he had both of his knees replaced. And that is major surgery. They cut the ends of your femur off, your tibia, your fibia. They're putting stainless steel. They're putting rods through the bones. You're not supposed to walk for weeks. I drive out there to caretake. I'm going to do everything for your dad. I'm doing the laundry. I'm cooking. I'm doing dishes. I'm this. I'm that. I go in my dad's house. He's coming up a major 15 step. He has a very long flight of stairs to the basement where his laundry. And he's coming up the stairs 15 hours out of surgery with bleeding staples on the giant, 1 foot incision on his knees. I get to his house. That's what he's doing. Coming up the stairs from doing laundry.
It's not going to wash itself.
He's one of. I told him I was coming. I got there the day after his surgery. It's like, but he's just one of those guys. Did your dad apologize to you? My dad wasn't mad at me. He was mad at my uncle for yelling at me. So, and we didn't have a problem. It's just my uncle was a pretty blunt guy. But I realize as an adult now, I don't think he was trying to be mean. He just didn't have a lot of kindness or manners with kids. I think he expected a lot out of us as boys. And I think it was from a different time. It was more macho, more masculine being born back then. So I think that's what it was. So let's see. Joe Musashi, sorry off topic. Before you guys start Lethal Weapon, I have to ask your opinions. Both Invasion USA and Rambo First Blood take place around Christmas. Do you consider them Christmas movies? No, I don't. Mm-mm. No. Invasion USA is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. I love it.
Yeah, that movie's fucking wild. But no, I don't consider either one a Christmas movie.
Hector, all I can think about the potato with the meat. It's amazing. And you put, I would dunk it in tzatziki. That'd be amazing. Let's get a picture of some kefta here.
Don't make it at your house.
Maybe I should make kefta, and I will stand there and watch them. I will stand there and watch them like a hawk.
All right, don't tempt fate. Big Baby's going to show you something. Oh, look, and next thing you know,
nope. Not gonna happen.
Damn it.
It's like a taco made out of a
Curse.
potato stuffed with delicious meat.
The Kefka curse.
No,
I'm
not gonna,
tempted.
there's no Kefta curse. It ended.
If it happens with you, then that's proof positive that there's a Kefka curse.
There's not.
I think it already
I've
is.
had it. I've had it, Kefta, and I've had it without a fire starting since. So there's no curse.
Did you make it at your house?
I've had it though. If there was
No. That's not the question.
there just
Did
isn't
you
one.
prepare it? Did you prepare it in your home?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
No, I mean, since you had your own house.
I don't remember. I've lived here for 10 and a half years. I could not tell you everything I've ever made. I make a lot of different food.
That's
You know what I
a
had
no.
today? My favorite food in the world that my father makes. We'll go on Lethal Weapon, I promise. My favorite dish in all of the world is oxtail stew over couscous. You want to talk about good?
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Big braised oxtail where it's brown and crispy, but it's juicy and falling off the bone in a rich tomato sauce, carrot, celery, onion, potato, garlic, and it's it's not a marinara though. It's no oregano or nothing, no Italian flavor.
It's almost like a stew.
Yeah, it's a stew. It's an oxtail stew. And you pour it over couscous or rice if you have rice, but couscous is better, more authentic. And I had that at lunch because my wife made a big thing of it last week and we didn't finish it. And I was like, do we still have oxtails? And she's like, yeah, we have a couple. So I had that for lunch. It was delish.
Yep. I've had oxtails, that same thing, but over polenta.
Ooh, that might be good.
That was stupid good.
That might be good.
If it wasn't so hot, I would have had sex with it, but it was hot.
All right. Well, here we go. Guys, it's time for Lethal Impact.
Lethal.
I'm going to call it Lethal Impact Double Weapon.
Yo, double weapon. I'm listening. Now, this is a Christmas movie right here.
What is the plot of Lethal Impact?
Ooh. Lethal Impact. It makes you think disaster movie, like End of the World.
Ooh, okay.
But what it's about is it's actually the prequel to No Retreat, No Surrender. It delves deep into the dojo acquisition syndicate from No Retreat, No Surrender. Because they tell you if we, what was the line? If they get like one more dojo or some shit.
One more dojo and and Seattle is yours. Oh boy.
So it's the prequel. So you find out what the dojo acquisition circuit is really like, and the impact really is lethal.
Don Meyer says he saw one. Lethal Impact is actually all about food. I want to go with. I feel like Double Weapon is a guy who's born with two right hands. So no matter what he does, he throws a right cross. He's got two arms on the right side, just two on the. He's Double Weapon. He
has two gun hands or some shit, or two dicks. He has two dicks.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. We've landed. We've landed on the plots. Two dicks.
Oh, who's that? Somebody's knocking. Actually, hey guys, it's me. Merry Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, Jericho. It's me, your friend Steven Seagal.
My what?
It's me, your friend Steven Seagal. I said Merry Kwanzaa, Jericho.
Oh, I thought you said nuisance. My nuisance, Steven Seagal.
No, it's your good friend. I heard you guys talk about Double Weapon, and I actually made that movie back in 2003. It was direct to DVD.
Yeah, or direct to the.
Double Weapon was about me.
Oh,
how I could jump kick with 2 feet at the same time.
I thought it was direct to the trash can, not DVD.
That's only if you don't have taste. Double Weapon is when you do a jump kick.
I don't have it.
But you don't use 1 foot. You use both feet to kick your opponent right in the chest.
Are you able to execute that move right now?
Like right now? Or like if I had time to stretch?
Right this instant. Even if you stretched.
I'm actually doing a double weapon kick right now. You can't see it.
I doubt that. I've seen your physique over the last.
Well, I'm doing mental reps. That's what it is.
Okay. So in your mind, you're doing it.
In my mind, I'm doing it. Yes.
Well, I can do a lot of crazy shit in my mind, but that doesn't mean my body's going to follow suit. Anyway, was this the point of you? Have you made your point yet?
I was just coming in to tell you about Double Weapon. It's one of my favorite movies I've ever made. I was very proud of it. And we have a sequel. We don't have funding yet for the sequel for Triple Weapon, but I was wondering if you wanted to get in on the Kickstarter. So far, we want to raise more, but would you be interested in being involved in Triple Weapon?
No, I would not be interested in
Your
that.
name would be in the credits as an executive producer.
No, that's what I'm worried about. No. That's what I'm worried about, that I would be tied to this in some way. No, I'm not interested, but I think you made your point. So
Okay.
that would conclude.
I prepared
whatever this was.
a Kwanzaa jazz riff for you. I'm going to perform it for you now. Are you ready?
No, I don't want to hear anything from that instrument. And I'm pretty sure we covered this last time you were here. I don't know anything about Kwanzaa, so you can keep.
Oh, I know everything about Kwanzaa. Would you like me to tell you the history of Kwanzaa?
No, I don't know anything about it.
So Kwanzaa was started back in the 1960s.
You said that you came here to let us know about double.
Well, I was telling you I made double weapon, but I'm trying to get triple weapon made.
It's not going to start here. It's not going to start here.
Well, in triple weapon, I double kick people and punch them at the same time. So it's three weapons.
I figured.
Yes. So
cool. Yeah.
I'm working on holding guns with my feet. I don't feel like my toes are long enough to get through the grip, around the grips.
Well, go and do that. Go practice that right now.
Okay, because if I could hold 3 guns, one in each foot and one in my hand.
Why wouldn't you just do one in each hand? Just one in one hand?
Well, how am I going to do a handstand?
Well, I didn't know you were doing a handstand.
That's what the left hand. Left hand's a handstand.
Practice that too.
Okay.
Practice all of that.
All right. Well, I'll work on my New Year's jazz riff, and I'll be back another time.
Oh yeah, take your time though.
Okay. All right. Merry Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy New Year.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, is right.
The great Steven Seagal, everyone.
The once great Steven Seagal, I think, would be a little more accurate.
There you go.
The once great.
Mine's just double bear claw. The bear claw in each hand.
No, that's real.
Oh my goodness.
That happens all the time.
Yeah. No, you brought up a good point though. You should hold a gun in each hand and then just one with the feet, So I don't know why he was trying to hold 2 with his feet and 1 with his hand. That's silly.
But one of like either one though, even if he accomplished all of those things, the thing is I don't want him to come back and tell us about it. That's my thing.
He might. Guys, hit the like, hit the share, let your friends know to come in here. Make sure you're subscribed. And here we go. Lethal Weapon. It's one of the quintessential 80s movies. It is the buddy cop movie, right? This is like when we say buddy cop movies, everyone loves a good buddy cop movie. Mm-hmm. This is the ultimate one, right? This franchise?
Perfect.
There is no higher. This is the greatest one of all time. No, you have, and it's three buddies. It's Murtaugh, Riggs, and Riggs' hair.
Yeah. Well, it had its own trailer, publicist, PR. It was a whole thing. Yeah. It got signed to do the movie before Mel Gibson did.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
That was part of the hair's demands was if I'm in, then you got to bring Mel in. You know what
got to bring this guy. And they're like, do we have to? He's like, look, it's a package deal.
Mel's got a lot of kids. His hair has more kids than him.
Yeah. He's like, we'll clean him up. But he has to come along, which was very big of his hair. And no pun intended. It was very big of,
if I go bald, I'm gonna get the hair transplant where they take it from the back of your head and they put it on top, and I'm gonna grow hair like Mel Gibson, I think, and just be like super arrogant. You know what I mean? Like, hey, don't touch the hair.
Hey, we have every right. You got a mane like that.
I don't go bald, but
if you have a mane like that, you have every right to be very arrogant about it because that thing is.
I feel like you can get in anywhere with that haircut, right?
Well, the hair can get in. Can you get in? Is the question.
Right.
It's in.
Yeah, so he's like he's the wingman for that hair. When they go out.
They're like, hey, ditch your friend. I just want to hang out with you. He's like, I can't.
My friend thinks you're cute.
I can't. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your hair, asshole.
Have you ever been the wingman?
No. No, I've never been the wingman. Mm-mm.
So this movie starts off with a beautiful young lady falling out of a building.
Boop, boop.
She gets what if when she died she got the martyr music? Do 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 do
do do. Oh man.
Do 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 do.
Poor lady. This movie right here. This number one, Jingle Bell Rock is my favorite Christmas song. and I think it might be because of this movie.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell
Yeah,
rock.
and
Gotta stop before the YouTube censors,
I don't hold on.
I was walking near an elementary school yesterday. I take my exercise walks every day with my beautiful bride. And we were in the evening walking about 6, 7 p.m. And we heard from the gymnasium, bunch of 6, 7, 8-year-old voices, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. And it brought such warm memories to me because my children are adults now. But it's like, yeah, when you go to those things at the school and maybe the kids can sing, maybe they can't, but it's such a, I don't know, it's such a beautiful thing. I don't know.
Yeah, my son had his Christmas program last night. It was pretty cool. He's third grader, so now it's watchable. It's not one of the worst things you've ever heard, but they're old enough, and they did really good.
Right.
But yeah, Bobby Helms is who sings it. That's my favorite Christmas song, and that's playing. I don't know if it's the Bobby Helms version, but it might be. But anyway, it's playing. Like that's how it starts off. You see the Warner Brothers logo,
Right.
the guitar, all that, and then you're getting
The doom, doom, doom.
they're going over the like L.A., but it's not just the city; it's like the whole like valley or whatever the hell. It's all of L.A. They're like you're seeing all the lights and stuff, and the Christmas lights and everything, and then it comes in onto the city. It's at nighttime, and then you start zooming in on. It looked like the Capitol Records building was like round.
Yeah,
building,
that's that.
But,
Yeah.
So it's coming in, and then you start zooming in on this one window, and you see like there's Christmas lights wrapped around the balcony on every floor. And then you see this girl laying there. She's laying on her back, her shirt's open, she's topless. And this came out 87, so it's probably what 88, maybe 89.
Right.
By the time it makes it to the video. So I was, 8 or 9 years old. And seeing this, I was like, you don't understand, but you understand. You don't fully understand, but you know something. When you see something, you're like, wow, I like that. That's pretty cool, whatever those are. And so she's laying there on her back, and then she starts like doing coke, and there's pills on the. I was like, oh shit. So basically, this girl, she's getting high, and she goes out on the balcony.
She gets real high, and then she gets real low.
Yeah, very fast. And it wasn't the fall; it was just the sudden stop.
The sudden stop at the end is what hurts people.
That's what does you in. And so she climbs up on the balcony and but she's like smiling. So she's totally doped out of her mind. And then what's cool is when she goes over, it's like the camera's going over. So you're seeing it, her POV going over the balcony, and then boom on top of a car way down there. I'd love to see how they did the stunt work. Because you can tell like it's totally a person falling from the building, like a stunt person. But when she hits the car, because right before impact, it shows you the bird's eye view of the car. And it looks like she's falling. Like whoever the stunt person was really landed on that car. Again, 1987, so cars weren't made out of, rice paper. So if you're landing on like the corner of the roof of a Cadillac in 1987, that thing is substantial. But yeah, boom, she lands on top of the car, crushes the roof of the car. And she, who turns out to be Amanda Huntsacker, is no more.
She is the late Amanda Huntsacker. She dead. And then we go to Mr. Murtaugh's house, and his family is bothering a man's quiet time in the bubble bath. But they're giving.
And I hope there's a lot of bubbles, because if not,
yeah,
like you're looking at your dad's dick right now. That's not cool.
That'd be traumatic. Jeez,
that would be weird. If that's his teenage daughter in the middle, right behind the cake. So and all the kids are too old. When your kids are really little, whatever, it's not a big deal. But like the youngest is probably like 9. So
yeah, this is
can't be seeing dad's dick no more.
Hopefully, Mr. Bubble was involved in this scene.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of stunt bubbles were in that bathtub. But they come in, and now they're going to show you the juxtaposition of Riggs and Murtaugh. So this is Murtaugh, Danny Glover, family. Everybody's happy. Happy birthday, Dad. They love their dad. They're excited to do this. About 100 candles on that damn thing.
Isn't it crazy? Like in real life, wasn't he like 39 when they made this?
Yeah.
It's like he's too old for this shit. And he's like 7 years younger than I am right now.
Yeah. And he's coming off of what he did Color Purple 2 years before this. They're probably filming a year after that came out. So yeah, his family, they love him. Dad's great. He blows out the candles. Now get out of the damn bathroom. And so
Wait,
he has his beard.
Harmonica's saying he's 31?
Hold on.
How could he be ready to retire? I think the character's supposed to be like 39 or 40. Maybe in real life he was 31, but that
Yeah,
would
he
make
was
sense.
definitely, you know,
Early 30s, yeah.
an old dog, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. He was 41.
Oh, he was 41 when he did
Yeah, because
this.
he's born in 46. So
Okay.
46 to 86, 40. So yeah, he's 41.
That's
Still a young man. Definitely
Yeah.
too young to be retiring, but you know, yeah, he's playing an older, salty, but he's a vet though. He's been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
And
So
then
let me
you
see
go
this
from
guy.
that to this. And when they're coming into Murtaugh's neighborhood, there's a lady who's jogging. You hear the sprinkler system. There's dogs barking in the distance. Very suburban.
It's idyllic. It's nice.
2.5 kids, white picket fence, very nice middle class neighborhood. And I feel like most people live like that. Most people's experience was just a regular middle class kind of upbringing. And you see, he's obviously a police officer. Mom stays at home with the 3 kids. She makes a home. She's cooking and shit. It's just fucking awesome.
Yeah. Nice. It's a good
And
life.
then,
over here to the little
the-
trailer by the beach.
Yeah, trailer on the beach. His dog's like barking and shit coming back in the house.
Look, he's got a gun under his pillow there. He's smoking in bed.
Yeah, actually, the gun under the pillow is kind of cool. If I lived by myself, I'd have a gun under the pillow too. But but this 2 completely different lifestyles, same age, 2 different paths in life.
Right, and we're gonna learn more about why he's Mr. Nomad with his dealing with some pretty bad stuff in his heart and his mind.
He has some trauma. So like there's like trauma there. And this part is so funny. He pulls up on the scene and he walks over and he goes, "Who's this?" Oh, he's all, "This is a hooker." And she's like, "I'm a prostitute."
Oh,
and he
sorry.
goes, "Yeah, my bad." And so he tells me, Amanda Huntsucker fell, hit the car. Dixie was walking by. She saw everything. And he's all right, get her statement and let her go. She's like, "Yeah, thank you." Something about her outfit. He goes, "Yeah, all dressed up and knowing to blow." And she's like, you're a real riot. You're a fucking comedian. And he tells me, he says, 20-something years old, Amanda Huntsucker, and he says, what was that name? And he said it again. "What are the parents' name?" Michael and something else. Michael and Claire Huntsucker. And he was like, "Oh shit." He knows that guy. It's one of his Vietnam buddies. So
yeah,
so I guess
personal friend of Murtaugh's daughter. So this is not.
Yeah. No, it's a personal friend of his. Her dad and him.
Personal friend of Murtaugh's.
Yeah.
Their daughter. It's their personal friend's daughter. Yes.
Yeah, he's from Nam, which was kind of cool back then because this was a time where cats from Nam were this age. So a lot of the characters in these action movies were, they served in Nam. Men in Nam. So it was kind of those cool tropes. Yeah, he's a bit of a loose cannon. He takes a big old scoop of cocaine and eats it. Because
I like how they would taste drugs in the 80s and 90s movies.
Yeah, you gotta taste it or snort it. Something you gotta use a pocket knife to scoop it out.
Yeah, it's pure.
It's pure.
What if it was filled with like fentanyl? They just drop dead.
No, but because if it's good, it'll make your mouth numb. So he's undercover, and it's funny because he tastes it, and he's like, "Oh, that's some good shit." And they're like, "All right, cool. How much you want?" He's like, "I'll take all of it." They're like, "Oh, all right, cool, man. You want all of it?" He's like, "All right, for all of it, it's going to be $100." He goes, "$100? That's not bad." And he starts counting out $100. And the guy's like, hey. And he slams his hand on top of the money. He's like, 100,000, man, $100,000. And he goes, "Oh, man, I don't have that." He's like, "Well, you got a problem, man." He's like, "How about this? I'll take it all off your hands for free, and you assholes can go to jail." And he puts his badge on top of the coke, and the badge like slides off of the kilo. And he goes, he grabs a badge. And he goes, "This badge ain't real, and you ain't real, man." And he's like, "Oh, you fucked up now." And he's like, "You're crazy, man." And he does like this curly, 3 shooters, whoop, 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 on his face, and then he slaps the guy, and then grabs his pistol, and then he points at him right here. He's all, "That badge is real, and I'm a real cop, and this is a real fucking gun." And so then, you know, obviously somebody needs to get shot now.
Now, here's a great thing about this movie, why it's so good, why it's one of the greatest action movies of all time. This is Richard Donner directing. So he directed that first Amazing Superman. He directed The Goonies, of all things. But this is written by the amazing Shane Black. Shane Black is the nerd in Predator, and he went on to be a prolific writer in Hollywood and wrote some great action movies. But yeah, Shane Black is a fantastic.
And this is the same year as Predator, 87.
Right.
This is the same year. And you see that the Christmas tree lot, even more of that Christmas theme to it. Lights on the house, that's another thing. Later in the movie, you'll see Murtaugh's neighborhood at night. It's Christmas lights everywhere and stuff. And so this guy thinks, oh, I got the drop on this cop, because he's going through the backup shows up, and he's going through the Christmas tree lot looking for the guy, and he pops out, puts a gun to his head, and the guy thinks, you know, hey, let me out of here. I got a hostage. And Riggs is like, shoot me. Says, shoot me. Come on, man, shoot me. Everyone else has their guns on him. Drop the gun, asshole. Drop the gun. Riggs is like, shoot me. Come on, shoot me. The guy's like, shut up. He's like, shoot me. And he ends up taking the gun from the guy, and he puts the gun under that guy's chin. And he's like all psycho and shit. And he takes the gun. He's like, it's all right, Riggs. It's all right. But Riggs is like completely nuts, psycho,
unhinged.
Yeah, completely unhinged. And you know, if those cops weren't there to stop him, he would have blew this dude's brains out. Like, Riggs is fucking crazy. But you kind of find out why.
You gotta find out why. He's in this beautiful trailer.
Beautiful. We have a beautiful single wide. You got the kitchen in the living room and the bathroom.
It's nice and dark. It has plenty of room for alcohol for you to abuse.
Hey, let's take a poll in the crowd. Who likes black mold? Plenty of that here.
From its drab interior to its strange smells from black mold, you can get blitz drunk while you think about your dead wife.
Yeah, I want to put a gun in your mouth. So that's what he does every night. He looks at Victoria. That was her name, Victoria Riggs. He takes that 9mm, that M92 Beretta, 9mm, and he loads one single bullet, a hollow point in it, and he puts it in his mouth, and he stares at her picture, and then he like pulls the hammer back and everything, like he's going to kill himself. But then every night he thinks of a reason not to. So it's him crying, you know. Great acting in this movie.
Yep.
This is him crying. And he tells the photo, he's like, not tonight, dear, not tonight. And, you know, obviously she was young when she died. And so you find out in Lethal Weapon 2, the backstory on him and his wife and what happened to her. So that's some more crazy shit. But yeah, this is what happens. This is his existence. Every night he gets drunk and fights the urge to kill himself. That's pretty terrible.
Shrapnel says the Lethal Weapon show was actually not that bad. Damon Wayans was a good Murtaugh. I never saw the show. I forgot they made a Lethal Weapon show.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing some episodes. It must be, I don't know. The reason I didn't really like it is Damon Wayans, obviously he's a comedian. So it was a little too funny. And it didn't have that old, you know, because in this you can tell, and he is, you know, judging by, you know, the fact that they're 10 years apart in age. So Murtaugh is obviously the elder statesman. You know, he's closer to retirement than Riggs is and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't really get that with the Lethal Weapon TV show.
Yeah. The buddy cop stuff is so good. I want to eventually do a comic book graphic novel like a buddy cop thing. So I'll definitely do that. I'd love to do a book of this. I wonder who to contact to maybe get rights to do something of this. That'd be fun.
And it works. You know, it's always a straight-laced guy and then the not so, you know, the loose cannon, not so conformed.
And they both kind of meet in the middle. The straight-laced guy, he loosens up a little bit by the end. And the wild guy realizes maybe he's a little too wild. You know what I mean?
Maybe I shouldn't throw an old piece of pizza, Pepto-Bismol, and Coors Light into the blender every morning. And pay my parking tickets, too.
National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon is actually one of the better parody movies, too. It's pretty funny. I've never seen it.
It's hilarious, man. Like it makes fun of this scene right here. It's based on Lethal Weapon. So it's Samuel L. Jackson as Murtaugh and then Emilio Estevez as Riggs, dude. And you walk up to Emilio Estevez's trailer on the beach just like this, and it looks all fucked up on the outside. And you walk in, and it's like this huge mansion with pillars and shit, marble floors. It's so funny. And Whoopi Goldberg's in it, like before she was a crazy bitch. There's tons of great act. William Shatner's in it. It's hella funny. It's a really funny movie.
I haven't seen most comedies as we've gone over on here. I've seen very few comedies. So
yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, Riggs, trying not to kill himself. And then this is another classic action movie trope: the captain, the lieutenant, who's always on their ass. And they're great cops, but they're especially Riggs, not so by the book. So this is the captain who's going to be yelling a lot. And she's the department psychiatrist. She's telling him right here, you better, because Riggs is coming to the department. She's like, you better watch this guy. I've been reading his file, and he's a loose cannon. He's crazy. He's going to kill somebody. He's going to hurt somebody, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so you have definitive proof, no question. She's like, well, there's never no question. Nothing's definitive. He's like, well, until there is, and if he kills somebody, I guess I was wrong, huh? And then he like goes into the bathroom. She's like going to follow him, and he goes, hey, excuse me. And looks at the sign. It says men's bathroom. She's like, oh, well, I'll be waiting for you out here, asshole. And that's what she calls him. She's like, asshole. And then walks away. Love it. Yeah, there's the first time he's seeing Riggs here.
Right. The hat's weird. The hat makes him look like a homeless undercover or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure there was a reason for the hat.
What the hell? What's he pulling the gun for here again? I forgot.
Like this part is kind of stupid. Like he's pulling his gun out to like start cleaning it or some shit. Like he's looking at it. And then Murtaugh's like, gun. And then Riggs is looking around like, oh shit, where? Oh, me? Yeah, you, the guy in here with a fucking gun in his hand. And so he does like this judo flip on Murtaugh. And that was cool too, to see that flip, like, oh shit, Riggs, this is 80s. Fucking kung fu, martial arts or whatever. That shit's fucking cool. So to see that he had a little bit of that in him too was kind of nice. But this is how, and he just told him before, he's like, oh yeah, you're getting a new partner. He's like, a new partner? Damn it. He's like, oh, let me guess, it's probably some psycho burnout. And then guess who? Psycho Burnout.
Psycho Burnout is here. He's in the building. So they have a nice introduction, these two. Kind of sets the tone for their relationship. Mm-hmm. Pull a gun and then flip you over. So nice to meet you.
It's gonna be great. Very adversarial. He doesn't want a partner, and Riggs doesn't want to be his partner. He's like, he fucking put me over here with some psych bullshit. He's like, well, and he basically tells him, he's like, well, I don't want you. I don't want you here. He's like, well, I don't want to be here. He's like, good. Basically, you fucking do your thing, I'll do mine, and we'll get through this together. And he's smoking and shit, which Riggs does not like. And he tells him, what did he say? He's like, God must hate me, to give me a partner like this. And then Riggs looks at him and goes, hate him back, works for me. And then like takes a drag of his cigarette. Oh shit.
Right. So he's gonna have to redeem. That'll be a part of his character arc there, his bitterness and his anger.
Yeah. And if you like cigarettes, if you like to watch people smoking cigarettes, you are gonna love Lethal Weapon.
Right.
Riggs is smoking the shit out of some cigarettes in this movie.
Where is this? Is this that club they go to during the day to ask questions?
Nightclub. Yeah, and there's a lot of alumni. Well, I guess technically they're not alumni because Action Jackson wasn't made yet, because this is the year before Action Jackson came out. Right. You got this guy standing behind the guy with the lighter. He was in Action Jackson. The department psychiatrist, she was in Action Jackson. And the cop that Murtaugh was talking to before Riggs showed up, he was also from Action Jackson. And one of the characters later on who's doing a little bit of torturing, he was from Action Jackson. So
Right. Yeah. So now they're on the trail of whodunit with the Hunsaker gal. What's going on here with his buddy's daughter getting killed?
Oh, because the second cop that came in Murtaugh's office before Riggs showed up, he was telling him the toxicology report results, and it turns out somebody poisoned Amanda Hunsaker's pills. So even if she didn't jump, she would have been dead anyway. So now it's a homicide investigation.
The plot thickens. Mm-hmm. Right. So we see Murtaugh here with Mr. Hunsaker there. That's the father of the deceased girl. Mm-hmm. There's as a baby. So, they're playing on your sense of pity here, Let's see. Right. So where do they head after that?
They go over there to meet him to tell him the
Right.
toxicology report
Oh,
results.
and then he
that
gets all
she,
pissed. That's right.
yeah,
Like
because he
she would
says,
never do that. Like, wow, so
yeah, and he was like, he asked him, he's like, why did you contact me? Because that morning before Murtaugh went to work, his wife says, someone named Michael Huntsacker called you. He's like, Michael Huntsacker, oh shit, I haven't seen him since Nam. Well, I wonder what he wants. And then he finds his daughter dead later that day. So I asked him, why'd you call me? He said, I wanted you. He's like, I knew since you were a cop. Basically, since you were a cop, I figured you could help her get out. He's like, get out of what? Get out of the people she was dealing with and the situation she was in. But too late.
too little, too late. That's sad. Right. So then we get, they're kind of butting around and stuff. He's doing even though it's Los Angeles, it's one of those New York dirty water hot dogs, which I've never had. Never bought a hot dog off the street. Have you ever eaten one of those, Jericho?
No, but I would.
I've eaten street tacos in Tijuana, and they're good, and I never got sick from it. So there you go.
No, I eat a New York hot dog out of some hot dog water.
I suppose it's got so much salt in it, it'll destroy any bacteria.
Yeah, we're good. I'm sure the sodium's high enough to kill anything bad in
half
there.
salt and half tendons and buttholes and lips from the pig.
Hey, sign me up. Put in a nice bun, put a little moustache and ketchup on it, and keep that sauerkraut, you filthy Nazis.
What do you think of people that get militant about you can't put ketchup on a hot dog and they get all like insulting about it?
I say I put whatever the fuck I want on my hot dog and chill out.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
I think telling people how to eat is very rude,
Yeah, unless your name's fucking Oscar Mayer, don't tell me how to fucking eat my hot dog. I can't stand that shit. Like, oh, you can't put ketchup on that. I can put ketchup on whatever the fuck I want. It's my mouth, not yours. My mouth, my choice, right?
It's my mouth. My mouth.
My mouth, motherfucker.
Michael Coulter, I just love the Beretta Model 92 baby. It was the former service pistol of the U.S. Army until the Army decided to switch over to SIG. I'm a Glock guy just because of nostalgia. Glock was my first pistol, my Glock 17. I love it. The thing is low maintenance, easy to use. But I used a SIG. They're so much smoother.
They're nice.
There's the recoil's better. They're like, wow, my Glock is great, but I think I need to get a SIG. You know what I mean? So
yeah, SIG is you're definitely going on the higher end. SIGs, HKs, Special Ops uses SIGs. And before the M92 was the 1911.
Right.
And then they went to the M92, then now the SIGs. So yeah. But Red is cool.
Shrapnel says, Gabe, my wife is still waiting for the tamale. What are you talking about? You talking about like Christmas tamales or something? So some context I miss here about tamale ladies?
You better get it together, tamale lady. You got a week.
Yeah, you better hurry up, lady.
Less than a week.
The women in my family, my wife and her sisters and mom and sister-in-law and my daughter, they have a tamalada. It's all the women get around together and make a couple hundred tamales and then split them up between the families.
I remember this Mexican girl I knew growing up. I asked her if she could hang out around Christmas time. She was like, oh, no, I can't go anywhere. I was like, why? She's like, my aunts are coming over, making tamales all night long.
All night long. All night.
Tamales. Smoking tamales.
Making tamales.
Tamales. No, they're good. Beef. I have the beef and pork ones.
I love a good
chicken.
tamale.
You ever had the sweet ones, like the sweet corn ones?
Jail for those people.
Under the
jail. No candied tamales. No sweet tamales. Jail.
I've had them. They tasted good.
Oh, I've had them. I've had them.
Point.
I called the police.
I see your
point. These things better have savory beef and be overflowing with juice.
Dude, nothing's worse than a tamale with not enough filling in it. You piece of shit.
Right.
What
the fuck?
Shit.
A tamale is one of the hardest foods to not be handmade.
Dude.
Like, you can't make them with machines and stuff. There's no good tamale that's not made by a human. Like we don't. Elon Musk is got 6,000 satellites circling the Earth. We've been to the moon allegedly. We're going to Mars soon. We've got microsurgery. Can't make tamales. We don't have a machine to do it. Only Mexican women's hands can do it.
No, I think if you put Elon Musk on the task of making a machine that could fucking make tamales, I think he'd probably do a pretty
You'd have it done in a
good
week.
job. He'd have it pretty. He'd have like the mold, like the thing that shapes it would be like an old Mexican lady's hands.
So really, was not that hard to make the tamale machine.
Yeah.
Stay away from Uranus. Yeah, we'll go to Mars, but yeah, stay away from Uranus.
Yeah, you can have Uranus. It's a filthy planet. Filthy planet.
Yeah. Yeah. So I forgot the joke. I hate when I remember parts of jokes. I don't remember the joke. There was some Star Trek third grade joke, poop joke. It's something about Klingons on Uranus, but I can't remember. Jeez.
Damn it. This is cool. I like that old can of Pepsi too.
Right.
Very nostalgic. Things just looked fucking old in the 80s.
Are you a Coke or Pepsi guy?
Oh, Coke, man. Come on. Pepsi is fucking
I was a Pepsi guy my whole life.
Ugh,
and then somewhere in my mid to late 20s, I was like, this is disgusting.
Yeah, it's called growing up.
Well, I always liked Coke. I always liked Coca-Cola, but I preferred Pepsi, I think, because it was sweeter than Coke.
Yeah. Pepsi's fucking child soda. Fuck that. Coke is good.
You already have Coke, which is horrific with the amount of sugar in it. You're like, you know what? What if we put more sugar in Coca-Cola?
What if we just add a little bit more? Call it Pepsi. You've seen those before where they have like the fucking bag of sugar that equals what's in a Coke. It's like crazy. Like if someone gave you a bowl full of sugar, you would never eat it. But if you put it in soda form, fucking guzzle that shit.
Yeah, they'll do. Oh, here it is, Jericho. Let's see. This is it right here.
Oh yeah.
Look at
Isn't that crazy?
It's terrible.
Like if somebody gave you that and said, eat this bag of sugar, you would fucking, it's impossible.
Get the fuck out of here. 10 cubes of sugar. What are you doing to your life?
Oh, it's crazy. Or you've ever seen the one where they put like a piece of meat in a bowl of like Coca-Cola overnight or some shit and it just completely dissolves the meat? I've seen one where they take Coca-Cola and clean the words Coca-Cola off of the can with it, where it's just like the bare fucking aluminum underneath it. I'm like, oh my God, man, this Coca-Cola shit's crazy. But it sure tastes good.
We're going to put the cocaine back in Coca-Cola. You're going to get a lot of shit done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it was. The original Coca-Cola had fucking yayo in it. They used to sell Coca-Cola door to door for housewives.
Right.
Like in powder form.
Michael Coulter, he's commenting that Diesel brought up Crystal Pepsi. I had a Crystal Pepsi once with my Uncle Dave, who yelled at me about the fire and the kefta. And it was disgusting, Crystal Pepsi. It was truly disgusting.
Yeah, Crystal Pepsi was fucked up.
Yeah. I do like a good soda. I have lost a ton of weight. I'm down quite a bit of weight. I don't drink soda anymore, but I have a crate of Mexican Mexican Coca-Cola from Costco. And I will have one of those about once a month. If there's a good football game on or I'm doing something, a special meal, I'll have a Coca-Cola about once a month. So, JG Gabe, have you ever done cocaine? No, I don't do drugs. I haven't done drugs. I've had alcohol, and I smoked one pack of cigarettes when I was 18. I'm not a drug guy, and I hate to say this. I don't mean to insult anyone. I kind of look down my nose on drugs. Like, ugh, how classless. It's how I was raised. I was raised very like, we don't do that. Like it's trashy. So it's just not my thing. Not my thing.
I've of course haven't done it in a long time, but especially since my kids were born. But yeah, I did coke back in the day for a little bit. It was fucking fun. It was a lot of fun. But I did it for like maybe a few months and then that was it. But yeah, it was fucking great.
No, my vice was probably food. You know what I mean? That's why I had to lose all this weight. I've got about 30 pounds left to go to hit my goal weight. So I'll be back to my high school freshman weight though. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking, I remember one time I got some Coke, right? And I was by myself. And so I just started at the radio station. So I was like, oh man, I have all these ideas for like skits and stuff to do like on the morning show or whatever, or when I get my own show. And so I had this notebook and fucking doing lines and fucking writing ideas down in this notebook.
I'm sure they
I'm
were all
like, oh,
gems.
Oh, it was like, oh man, why didn't I think of this before? That's hilarious. And I'm just writing all this shit, right? And the next day I wake up and I'm smoking a cigarette and I open the notebook and I look at it. It was most of it was like fucking wasn't even legible. It was just like fucking script. It was so stupid. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking last night? Oh my
Like when you have
goodness.
a weird dream and then you write it down, and then it's like, no.
Oh, it just made no sense whatsoever. And it was definitely fueled by that booger sugar.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yep. Not my thing. Never been. My trouble
Well,
was
don't start now.
ladies, when I was a young man. I'm happily married for many, many years now, but food and ladies was my trouble when I was a youngin'.
Yeah, that could be a pretty crazy combination right there.
Very passionate man.
Yeah, you know.
Passionate young man. So
Yep.
I have no idea how I got all the way to 18 before I had a child. Because I should have had one much earlier than that.
Yeah, you do that one every year.
Yeah,
you know,
I should have had kids years before I was 18. I don't know how I did that. So
was it for lack of effort? But
no.
yeah,
Oh,
you know,
no, my friend. It was not for lack of effort.
Whatever you're into, you know, you're into it. But yeah, especially as a young man, as an adolescent young man,
Yeah.
ladies are definitely on the radar.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of dumb choices.
Yeah, you know. Well, you're not in charge. The big brain, the big head is
and then that regret
powered down.
That's in within milliseconds, you know.
Oh yeah. Too late now.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
Too late now. Damn it. And your dick's left the scene. Bye-bye. Son of a bitch. No, it wasn't that good, None the Miser. It wasn't as good as the script
The Laser Mission.
Wasn't that good.
I hate that Ernest Borgnine's in that movie because I respect him as an actor. He won a fucking Oscar in the 50s, that guy.
Yeah, well that credibility carries him all the way through, even through the fucking F5 hurricane known as Laser Mission.
The worst part of Laser Mission is the girl. No, wait. Brandon Lee does do brown face and try to do fake Colombian accent that does not sound like any accent from anywhere.
He did that.
Brown chupalish on his face.
Yeah, he did do that. But that movie, it had you hear progressives and stuff talking about it, inclusivity and inclusion and everybody under this umbrella. Well, you're gonna love Laser Mission because you had like fucking Jamaicans and you had
remember it took place in Africa City, right outside of
Nazi, there were Russians,
right outside of Nazi Jamaica in Russia.
There were no bullshit Cubans, Russians, fucking Jamaicans. Everybody was jam packed into this movie. So if you really want inclusion, then you need to get your hands on Laser Mission.
It's worth a watch. It's so bad, it's good. It's one of those.
I don't know what it is.
It's entertaining with friends to watch and laugh at. Those are some of my favorite kind of movies. Come on, No Holds Barred.
Oh, which is worse?
Stone Cold. Come on,
which is worse? How does No Holds Barred have a bigger budget, but it's worse than Laser Mission that obviously had no budget?
Here's the thing. The worst one is Stone Cold because in the story, Stone Cold saves no one. And he walks out like a badass hero.
That's
and
true.
The politicians he was trying to save literally get murdered by
he causes imagine a cop that doesn't save anybody, he only causes people to get killed.
But then the female lead that was his romantic interest, she gets killed. The judge or the senator or whatever gets killed. And he walks out of the courthouse all strutting like a badass. And the credits start rolling. And you think the bad guys did everything they wanted to do. They killed everyone.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if the general public's ready for Stone Cold.
Oh, don't worry, Mike. You have an ally in me. Mike has bad knees. I'll pray for your knees, Mike. Don't have bad knees. Knees over toes guy. Oh, he's on Instagram and he's on Twitter. He will help you heal your knees. Watch him. I'm not a doctor. It's not medical advice. Watch him. He has a lot of workouts for knee repair.
The No Holds Barred is
No Holds Barred is one of my favorite horrible movies. Don't you dare make fun of it.
It's-
Don't say it's bad because it is entertainingly bad.
No, it's fucking awful. It is an awful movie. Yes, Stone Cold's the one with the Boz, with Brian Bosworth. And
Yeah.
you get all the Boz you can handle.
How much
In-
Boz you looking for, Jennifer? How much Boz you need?
Yeah, tell us in terms of
Like ballpark it.
like gallons. Like how many gallons of the
What's
Boz are
its
you?
metric? How many liters? of
Yeah. How many liters of the Boz can you handle? Because trust me,
Give me
Yes.
all the Boz.
no, you don't
Do
want
it.
all the Boz.
Do it. Fucking do it.
Nobody goes full Boz.
Yeah.
And
You'll love it.
lives to
Jennifer.
tell
It's
about
so-
it.
Dude, it's in the intro of our show. What is his name? That character actor, Lance Henriksen. the
Lance
villain.
Henriksen, yeah.
And he's holding the gun up to that guy and he says, "This reminds me of the last thing my father ever told me." And then, they're like, what'd your dad say? "Put that gun down, son. It's loaded."
Oh man.
That's such a great line for an action movie. I love that.
Movie's
What
fucking
about the
terrible. Doesn't have
helicopter flying out like the 5th story of the court building, the motorcycle flies out, hits the
Yeah.
helicopter, blows up the helicopter falls on a car and blows that up. Come on.
Yeah. Well, if you have one thing that's blowing up and you put it on top of something else, that thing's going to blow up too, just for being in a close proximity to another explosion. Wasn't there, I think, a bike race, a motorcycle race, and he had like an iguana, pet iguana.
Right.
That movie just so fucked up. That movie was a fever dream. It was crazy.
I love it. Okay, here it is. I
But-
found it. I found the helicopter thing. Hold on. I'm going to share it. It's only like 19 seconds, so I think we can play it and they won't take my commercial money away. Stop screen. And then we'll keep moving on the movie because we're getting bogged down by.
We're
Okay,
getting
here we
bogged
go.
down by the Boz. We're getting bogged down.
Okay, here it is. If you can't hear it, tell me. So he's in a courthouse. He's fighting all the bad, evil biker gang that was there to assassinate the judge, which they did. He didn't stop him
Yes.
from killing the judge. He's standing in a hallway in front of a giant window. There's bad guys outside, helicopters, biker gang dudes, and this guy on a bike wants to kill the boss. And watch what happens.
Boom. Because everybody knows that when a motorcycle hits
Oh.
something, when a motorcycle hits something, no matter what it is, it's gonna explode.
That is too good.
So-
Dude. That is too good. That
If you
scene.
guys didn't know that, you know it now. So if you see a
Love that
motorcycle
movie.
hit something,
I have it on
Duck-
DVD.
Duck
I
and
love that
Cover.
movie. And he has a pet iguana for no reason.
because he's the boss.
Ugh.
That's why.
Let's see.
That's because he's the
Have you guys
boss.
seen the
That's why he's
Anatoly videos? He's a little Slavic dude that can pick up 350 pounds with one arm. Holy shit. What did we call his pet lizard? I can't remember. I gotta watch the episode. It's Iggy. Iggy the iguana. That was his buddy.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
So what a clever name.
Right. So anyway, they come upon this guy. He's gonna jump off the building and commit suicide. Riggs goes up there and talks to him and jumps off the building with
He cuffs him.
Right. He cuffs him, jumps off onto the giant, air mattress thing. So again, he's demonstrating his it's a bit of a loose cannon. Bit of a loose
Nuts. Yeah, the guy, he offers him a cigarette and the guy reaches for it and then he slaps the cuffs on him. He's all, now, if you jump, you're committing murder because you're taking a police officer with you. And the guy says the thing that sets him off, man, you're crazy. I think I'm crazy? You want to jump? All right, let's jump. And then he goes, no. And then he just fucking jumps off. And then he lands. Get this guy away from me. He's fucking crazy. Get him away from me. He's like,
Oh.
fuck, dude. You want him down? I got him down. It's a problem. And Riggs did not like that.
No.
Riggs pulls him into this fucking like abandoned building. He's like, what the fuck's wrong? You want to die? And he puts a gun to puts it to his head. No. Put it in your mouth. You don't want the bullet to fucking miss. It's like puts it under his chin. And he's pulling the trigger and the hammer is slowly going back. And then Riggs puts his hand between the hammer and the striking pin, the firing pin, so it doesn't hit the bullet. And then he's like, you really are crazy. And that's kind of the crescendo. After this, they're kind of being cool with each other.
Right. That kind of was the final straw of the
Yeah.
frigid period of the getting to know you. Now they know each other.
Yeah, we know each other very well.
It's like,
One
this is me.
One of them almost shot themselves in the head. So yeah,
This who I am. Yeah. So this lady's always like, he's a nut job. Hello, somebody read my notes. It says nut job at the top.
Yeah, she's right. I don't know why they don't listen to her. She's
That's her
fucking right.
detail analysis says this. She got a manila folder an inch thick. She's only written on the first page. This guy's fucking insane, is what she wrote.
On the envelope, it says bonkers. She's like, "Give me my bonkers file."
And then it says wackadoodle,
comma semicolon loco.
Fuck,
we get it, lady. We get it.
It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
She's hell bent on fucking getting this psychopath off the streets. More power to her. Thank you for doing.
Speaking of Cocoa Puffs and Coca-Cola and cocaine, if any
mix it together in a bowl, is that what you're gonna say?
If any cereal mascot is high as a kite, it's that fucking Cocoa Puffs bird, right?
Yeah, he's on coke.
He's yacked out of his mind. That guy. He's fried to the gills.
Yeah, he's Geeter Jennings for sure. But good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
He's a nut job. Look at him. Look at him. Look at that face.
No, he's fucked up.
I don't know. He seems like
Geetered up.
Is yay cocaine? Yayo or what are these words?
Yes, yayo. Yeah. Okay. Cocaine.
All right. So what happens from here, Mr. Jerker? You know this movie fucking backwards and forwards.
I sure do. So they're kind of cool. They're riding in the car, and he's kind of like, so pretty awkward, huh? Like after their little fight they had, and then Riggs says something, and then they start laughing and shit. And like he's like, so what you gonna tell me what we're doing on this case? And he's like, yeah, we got a lead, and this is the person who was paying all the because when Amanda Huntsacker, when they were on the scene when she died, he told the other guy, he's like, hey, find out who's paying all the bills for this shit, who's paying for the hotel and all that kind of stuff, like who's her pimp and all that. So this is the guy's address who was paying for Amanda Huntsacker's apartment and her car and all that stuff. So it brought him here, and you see these chicks right there. They're filling up bags with cocaine, and they're like waving at Riggs and Murtaugh, like, hey guys, what's up? Thinking they're like customers or something, and Murtaugh pulls his jacket back and you see his gun in his badge, and they're like, oh shit, and they run.
He's like, this is what's up, lady.
Yeah, this is what I'm here for, bitch. And so as soon as they run, behind them is a guy with a shotgun, and he takes a shot at both of them, and they spin around, and Murtaugh puts one in his leg because he's always telling Riggs, stop fucking killing people. He said, if you can go a day without killing people, then maybe we can be friends. And so shoots this guy in the leg, and so Murtaugh's telling him, see, that's how you do it. Shoot a guy in the leg. He's not dead. He's still alive, and we can question him. Now put him in handcuffs. Riggs goes to handcuff the guy, and the guy pulls a gun, and Riggs goes gun and pushes the guy's hand up in the air because he was going to kill Murtaugh. And so Riggs fucking pulls his gun, drills this dude, and the guy falls onto the pool, but the pool had a plastic cover on it. So now this guy is going to drown because he's caught in the plastic cover. And I'm like, dude, you just shot this dude 4 times. Fucking let him drown. Let him die. Like, why are you saving this motherfucker? You just shot him. I'd let his ass sink to the bottom and die, and the fucking coroner can get his ass out of there. But it didn't work out. He's dead. And now they're like, gasping for air on the side of the pool.
Breaking news. We got some real bad news. I had to look into something because I was curious. And
see?
I'm just gonna leave it there.
That's the other ones are Photoshop. It's cereal. This is the real one.
This is bad.
That would taste horrible to eat like cocaine. Like
look at him.
Of cocaine. That would be
He's in a frenzy. That's not a spoon. That's a Coke spoon.
It's all burnt on the bottom. That's where he fucking boils it before he injects it. That's fucking gross. That would be so nasty to eat cocaine. Oh my god.
What is this guy's name anyway? I know there's Toucan.
I don't even know. Fucking Dead Bird. That's his name. Fucking eat coke like that, you're gonna die.
Oh, this is him at his lowest. He texted me this by accident. He was trying to send it to someone else.
Like, oh, wrong person, but he said wrong person. Fuck
wrong
it.
Guy.
He said fuck it. After he's like, this is me.
So
this is who I am.
I just hope he gets the help he needs. It's very sad.
I don't think he wants any.
I mean, he looks
like
happy.
He looks like he's having a great time. I don't know.
Jennifer Norwood says Tony Montana was inspired. Like, hey, you want to eat some cereal? You want to have some breakfast?
Want some fucking Cocoa Puffs, man? Motherfucker. Dude.
Oh, his name is Sonny.
Sonny, that is his name. That is his name, huh? Sonny.
Yeah, I guess it's always high noon wherever the fuck he is, huh?
Yeah, dude, he's snowed in. He's always fucking snowed in. Dude, want to go out? I can't, bro. I'm snowed in.
Oh my goodness, Sonny.
Fucking Sonny, get your shit together, man.
Hopefully Sonny turns it around, because that ain't great, you know?
Oh, he hasn't done it by now. His cereal's been around for 40 years.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
I don't know how someone could do cocaine for 40 years and never face any consequences. That's what's amazing about Sonny.
Well, because he's not human, he's a bird.
You would have thought he would have had a heart attack or went to jail or got, robbed by the dealer, like crooked drug deal. So you would have thought something would have happened to him by now.
Or if he robbed somebody. I don't think
right.
He's not the only one who can be
His
robbed.
name is Sonny Montana.
You cockroach.
His fucking Sonny Montana.
Fuck, man.
Cockroach.
All that cereal money going up his fucking nose. It's a shame.
Maybe his father. Yeah, he was just pardoned. Sonny actually. He actually just got pardoned by
Biden pardoned Sonny. It was like, Sonny who? Fucking Cocoa Puffs bird, man. You didn't know that dude was down and out?
Right. Count Chocula. I don't know. I think Count Chocula, he's a little light in the loafers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, his name used to be Count Cockula, but then he fucking changed it. He's like, put an H in there.
I want to suck your butt. Did you say butt or blood?
Blood.
I said the blood. I would never say the butt. Unless you're cool.
Unless you let me suck your butt.
Wait, is he the Count from Sesame Street?
All the counts.
His own thing.
All the counts are the counts from Sesame Street.
Okay.
All of them.
Goodness. Yeah. All right. Anyway, kills this guy.
See ya.
And so now we get back to the beautiful confines of suburban life. And he's going to introduce this psycho killer to his beautiful wife and children.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in.
Jericho, you meet a new friend. You work with him. He flips you over. He almost kills himself a few times by jumping off a building, sticking a gun in his mouth. And then you watch him kill a man when, that's probably going too far at the stakeout. And then you say, what the hell? I'll introduce him to my family. Oh, you're muted.
It's time to bring him home.
Yeah.
Trying to bring him around the most precious thing in my life. Come on in, Martin.
We're still in the first 30 minutes of the movie. Hey, maybe the first 25.
Yeah, 30. You're pushing.
Hey,
you're being
this
generous.
is the last episode of the year because no double impact next Wednesday or the one after because it's Christmas next Wednesday and it's New Year's.
Yep.
We're not doing that. We're not going live on those days.
No,
if we do something for next week, we'll record something. Should we go live the day before? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what everyone's
still up in the air.
Yeah, we'll see. You guys let us know in the chat. And then we got to check our schedules because I think I have some family stuff Christmas Eve. Jericho probably does too. So we'll see.
Christmas Eve is usually a big thing for a lot of people.
Right, which I don't like, but my wife's family is into that. Like getting together and opening presents on Christmas Eve. I didn't know about this. I got married. My wife's family. And it's like, you wait 363 and a half days for Christmas morning. And then you open the fucking presents 11 hours before Christmas morning. What are you doing?
Do they do it in the evening or the afternoon?
The evening, like 9, 10, like late at night. But apparently tons of Mexicans do this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Mexican. I never heard of this.
All my Mexican buddies did that. It was so fucking weird. I was like, what, dude? We wait till Christmas morning. It's weird to open them.
What are you going to do on Christmas morning if you opened them Christmas Eve?
Fucking play with them, I guess.
That's the guilt train. Here comes the guilt train.
Yeah.
All aboard.
No, I'm not getting on at that station. But no, that's weird opening them at night. But I tell you what, one thing, man, one of the worst days in a kid's life is Christmas evening, because you know that Christmas is coming to an end. It's all over until next year.
Were
Because the day after
you
Christmas ain't the same.
were you a sneaky sneak? You ever open presents before Christmas?
I did one time. I went in my parents' closet
I did
and
that one
found
time.
the micro machine shit that they bought me.
I got under the tree and peeled the cellophane tape back and like ripped the wrapping paper and like
Mhm.
looked, and it was some Star Wars toy or something. And I like taped it back. Never got caught. Felt very bad about it though. Heather
I
says,
did.
"Do we consider this and Die Hard to be Christmas movies? Die Hard, yes. This, no. This has Christmas as a backdrop, but for whatever reason, this is Lethal Weapon. It's its own thing to me. What say you?
I think I would consider this a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just, like you said, there's Christmas things about it.
it's
And
not a Christmas movie, but I don't think of Christmas when I think of this. I do think of Christmas with Nakatomi Plaza.
I don't know. I think this is a Christmas movie as well, or a great movie. And this again is showing you more of the contrast between the way Martin lives and the way Murtaugh lives. And he's like tripping, like, wow, look at all this. The kids call daddy, daddy, and his wife, and they're flirtatious, and she has dinner ready and all that kind of shit, man. It was pretty cool. But he's just still like, wow, this is not how I live at all.
Wow. Heather says her mother's going to be 80 Christmas Eve, so that's what I'm doing. My father, that's his birthday too, Christmas Eve. I don't know how old he'll be. He's never really told us his age. I think my dad's 75. He could be 70, but my mom's 70, and I think he's a little older. My dad could be like 72, 73. I don't know why he never told me how old he is, and he won't when you ask him. I think he's 75. So I think my dad will be 76 this next Tuesday. Tuesday. What a Tuesday. What the hell?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. My dad will be 76 on Tuesday.
Fucking Tuesday.
So
I know what you meant.
Yeah. I can't stop thinking about this.
Dude,
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, I'm cooking for everything.
You took all my Cocoa Puffs.
Hey, your nose is bleeding my cereal again.
Hey, man,
Gross.
you think the government put like microphones in this box of Cocoa Puffs and listen to all my thoughts right now?
You hear me, Uncle Sam? You hear me? He's fucked up.
That's what I've heard about cocaine and methamphetamine. Again, not a drug guy, never tried it. That a long enough use will cause psychosis, voices, visions.
I think it's your lack of sleep. That's what's really fucking with you.
So
being up for a week, that'll have some adverse effects on you.
Let's see. Heather did presents on Christmas Eve, except the ones from Santa. And then Hector says it's a Christmas movie. There's a deleted scene with Murtaugh taking a hooker on Christmas Eve to watch the Three Stooges and eat. You sure that's this movie, Hector? That's not some other movie.
Like more of like a charity thing.
He took a hooker to go eat and watch the Three Stooges, huh?
Let's go eat and watch the Stooges, bitch. You dumb hooker. Right. Hookers, everybody knows hookers love the Stooges. So
I saw this those little short things on Twitter and Instagram, like 10-second little comedy clip. A guy's driving down the boulevard and he sees like a woman, like a hooker. And she's like, hey, baby, what do you want? When he pulls over, he's all, how much to win an argument? And she's like, $100. And then and then it shows him in the hotel room. She's laying on the bed and he's standing there. And that's why I don't want to go to your mom's on Christmas. Blah, 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 blah. He tells her like $50 more if you don't like complain about my driving or something like that. Or it's just hilarious. So anyway, Riggs is introduced to the Murtaughs. Meet the Murtaughs.
Yep. And that's his teenage daughter who's like 16, and she's all lovey-dovey, all googly-eyed over Martin Riggs because he is a young Mel Gibson with a mane to die for.
He is a little too old for her. A little too old.
And he tells her that too. He's like basically snap out of it. Like, the fuck are you doing?
He plays is it Neil Diamond or Neil Young? I got my Neils confused. Young girl, get out of my mind. You know that song?
I'm not sure which Neil it is.
It's young girl, get out of my mind. Does he say my love for you is way out of line?
You.
What were they thinking writing that song?
Yeah, who sat
And
down
then it
and
says,
wrote that?
you better run, girl. You're way too young, girl. Like,
Gross.
I don't know about this song. It's a weird song.
Gross.
So yeah. The Beatles have that one. She was just 17, and you know just what I mean.
Yeah, the Beatles.
That's a little something there. Those lyrics.
Perverts.
That's a little something.
Perverts. Well, there was like, was that song "Sexy at 17"?
Uh-oh. Didn't R. Kelly have one that was age was just a number or something like that?
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't kidding, huh?
Nope. Should have took him at his word.
He got himself.
But who the fuck? How does a 14-year-old end up at a backstage with R. Kelly getting pissed on? Like, what the fuck? How did that even happen? Did that 14-year-old not look and act like a 14-year-old?
Where are the parents allowing them to be?
Yeah, like how do you do that? How do you get to an R. Kelly concert and end up getting pissed on at 14 years old? That's just fucking insane to me.
Well, and then he got what, like 30, 40 years in prison? He's going away forever.
A long time. Long time.
He tried to make an argument. I read in the news. His attorney said that his IQ was so low he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, he's too dumb.
He's too stupid.
Fucking dumb. Don't put his dumb ass in jail. Well, too bad.
Hector, it's on the director's cut DVD. We also opened the gifts one evening, the Santa ones in the morning. The first time I remember it was 4. I got my Star Wars toys. Yeah, I got a lot of Star Wars toys growing up. Heather started drinking at 10. She's never done drugs. Now she rarely ever drinks. Well, good for you.
Good.
Not good for you for starting at 10. Good for you for weaning off.
No, we opened everything on Christmas morning. There was no Christmas. Like now we let our kids, because my wife growing up, they would get to open one gift on Christmas Eve, but of course it wasn't like the big gift or something like that. We just let them open like T-shirts and socks or some shit. But we let our kids open one gift Christmas Eve. But growing up for me, you wait everything till Christmas morning.
I remember Star Wars Christmas, 1983. There were quite a few Star Wars Christmases for me growing up. A lot of Star Wars toys, always. But we went to Hawaii for a few weeks when I was in kindergarten. Saw Return of the Jedi at the theater. Got the Al Williamson illustrated adaptation of the movie from Marvel Comics. Got a AT-ST, the walker, the two-legged walker. Got a TIE fighter. Got some action figures. So many Star Wars things for Christmas, but I got this awesome coloring book. Princess Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2 in Cloud City with Lando Calrissian. Surely you belong here with us among the clouds. And it was red, I remember. And it was a black and white coloring book. The cover was red. And I left it on the airplane on the flight home from Hawaii. I was so upset because I love this coloring book. And I left it on the Delta Airlines. Oh.
Somebody came up on that one.
We got to open one small present on Christmas Eve. Stocking stuffers can be opened. Now, what do you put in the stockings? I put like tiny little toy and like mostly chocolate, just mostly candy.
Yeah, there's candy in there. My wife will put like hand sanitizers and lip balm and stuff like that, like little shit. Candy in mine, body wash, stuff like that. Little shit.
Socks and deodorant. Oh my God. So this is a bizarre complaint. Most people cannot relate. I have humongo feet. I could wear a 15 or a 16 men's shoe. They don't make socks in my size. You go on Amazon, you get the extra, extra large size 15 socks. They're tight and you're fighting to put them on. Finally did some looking around and I found like size 15 to 18 socks and they fit like a dream. I usually wear slippers because putting on my socks is such a pain in the ass. And so now I have asked for tons of these socks for Christmas because usually dad just gets socks, you don't ask for them. You just get them.
Yeah,
now I'm like, no, I want a drawer full of these things. The first time in like 20 years I could slip on my socks comfortably. Oh, I remember before the internet buying shoes was a Saturday because I already wore like a 15 in high school. And before the internet, you couldn't just dial up the size you want to have mailed to your house. You had to go to like 7 shoe stores.
You had to go out in the world.
All they had was clown shoes when you have feet as big as me. That's all they have. This is the weirdest looking shit. All these bizarre colors. Ugh. Thank God for the internet. I can just order shoes the correct size.
Thanks, internet.
Oh, see, he knows too. Yeah, Mike will have good knees again. He's not going to keep the bad knees. He's going to have good knees.
Get those Hokas.
Yeah. Dude, there could have been an apocalypse, and I have clean socks. Awesome. So, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Anyway, Riggs, this girl's in love with Riggs. I don't like that at all. That's weird.
Yep.
So then they go out on a boat to like celebrate for the dad, right?
No, they're just fucking around.
They're in.
He's working on the engine.
Right.
He's working on the engine, just kind of tinkering. He was bullshit, talking, drinking a couple beers.
Right. Out on the boat in the driveway, not into the water, in the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
just
launching
tinkering
the boat.
in the driveway.
Not launching the boat at 10 night or
it's work all day, have dinner, and then go out.
No, let's do some night boating. You know how safe it is.
Go out at 10 p.m. It's like when I like to get out there.
Jennifer Norwood says, objectively, Riggs is cute. I don't blame her. Who's hotter, though, Jennifer? Riggs or his hair? Because his hair is a separate entity.
You gotta make a choice. The hair is something else.
What is Big Baby's favorite food? Oh, well, thank you for asking. Big Baby's favorite food is papas. My wife fries chopped up potatoes every morning in bacon fat, and she cannot get enough of that. I know, it sounds very plain, just potatoes. I love breakfast potatoes too, but she absolutely loves that. And she loves wo-wos. We teach her Spanish. My wife only talks to her in Spanish. We want to help her be bilingual. And in Spanish, an egg is a huevo, but Big Baby says a wo-wo. So she asked for a wo-wo. And then she likes sausage. We buy all natural sausage patties. And she calls sausage sachi. She wants some sachi and wo-wo and papas. And then my daughter was out with Big Baby, and there's a big fat guy with big fat arms. This is terrible. You know, kids will just be honest and say messed up stuff.
Keep it real.
She pointed at this fat guy and looked at my daughter and said, Sachi. She called the guy sausage.
Kids will cut you deep.
Oof.
Cut you deep.
Oof. So her favorite food, I would say right now, is potatoes. Now, she wants candy and snacks. She was trying to talk about crackers, like a junk food cracker. I let her have some cracker. Instead of saying cracker, she said gaga. So now if she sees a donut, ice cream, chocolate, it's all gagas. So she loves to eat a gaga.
All gaga.
Right.
All gagas all the time.
Sachi and wo-wo sounds awesome. Yeah. She wants to have sachi and wo-wo with papas. And mac, that's milk. She's going to drink mac. So MJ1 Media. Hey guys, you choose one of the two first franchises I got into, Lethal Weapon. Oh, well, awesome, man. Yeah, I got into these late. Like I only watched this movie like maybe 5 years ago or something. It's the first time. Great movie. Never saw it though growing up. Yeah, I don't know. Awesome movie. Don't like Lethal Weapon 4. Don't care for that.
Oh man, it's horse shit.
Lethal Weapon 3 is not great either.
Lethal Weapon 3 was the beginning of the end.
Right. You know, Lethal Weapon 3 is from the 90s, but it has girl boss shit in it with Rene Russo.
Rene Russo. Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit, a little whiff of woke girl boss. Just a whiff. It's like when you're eating something, it's like, what is that? You know, you taste something, but you're like, wow, I can't place it. But it's the beginning of a little bit of wokeism right there. It sucks.
Well, the 90s, that's where it started, and TV and sitcoms and all that kind of shit.
Oh,
you know?
Mr. Reese says the worst insult a Hispanic kid can give you is to call you fail, which means ugly.
Ugly.
Well, Mr. Reese, you remind me of more Christmas guilt. Not only do I have the guilt train in my past, we had a big Christmas party at my house when I was 7. Another Star Wars Christmas. I got the Millennium Falcon that year. Everyone dressed up. I had a Cosby sweater. My dad's cooking all kinds of food. It was a night party with all kinds of adult friends of my parents. My mom had a high school friend, Debbie King, is a wonderful lady, a nice lady. She had like a Tina Turner short, spiky haircut. And she came up to me all of 7 years old. So you look sharp, Gabe, in my Bill Cosby sweater. I looked right at her and I didn't like the Tina Turner short, spiky haircut. I looked Debbie King in the face. It's a family friend of my mom. They went to high school together. I looked her in the face and said, you look ugly.
You little shit.
Oh.
How old were you?
7.
No, you were
Debbie, I'm
old
sorry.
enough. You were old enough to know better.
Debbie, I'm sorry.
Oh, you little shit.
Bacon fat makes everything good. I'll allow it. It's absolutely true.
Agreed.
He likes MJ1 Media likes Lethal Weapon 3 is his favorite. Oh man.
I mean, it was like I said, it was the beginning of the end. By part 4, it was fucking awful. But the first 2, give me some.
All right. Moving on. Happy birthday, Sergeant Murtaugh. Is this the next morning at the home, right?
Yeah. The next morning, he's like in his room, fucking like sitting next to his bed. Get up. Come on. Let's go get some bad guys. Come on. Let's go.
I feel like this is weird. You've spent the night at my house twice. I wouldn't want you to do this to me.
No, I wouldn't want to.
Don't bring hot coffee and put it over my face while I'm asleep in case I make a sudden move and then you burn my face with my own coffee in my own house with my own.
It could be.
This is a very bad idea.
Yeah, and it's a little invasive. Even like my brother, I wouldn't want my brother to get the fuck out of my room. Who let you in here?
I dumped a cup of ice cold water on my brother's head when he was asleep once. In high school. I don't know why I did it.
That's grounds for a homicide.
I mean, I laughed and he freaked out, but we didn't fight. We didn't get in a fight. He was just yelling at me a little bit. So I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why I did that. I didn't usually do stuff like that.
That's definitely fight worthy.
Yeah, should have been. All right. So we get to the shooting range. That's a fun scene. He blasts a smiley face into the paper target. And it's pretty intense.
He puts it out way further too. Murtaugh probably puts his out like 15 feet, and Riggs put his like all the way down to the end of the range. And then the one dead center, like the nose on the smiley face, is where Riggs shot it the first time. Then he puts it way out there, and boom, 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 shoots a fucking happy face in.
I told you I've been doing a lot of shooting lately. I've been going to the range. I went to Vegas in September, and a friend of mine who lives there is a detective for the Las Vegas Metro Police Department. And he took me and Merlin shooting and stuff. And my right eye my left eye has slightly better vision than my right, but I'm right-handed. So I, being a novice gun guy, I've only had guns for like 5 years. I didn't know that I could use my left eye. I thought if you're right-handed, you got to use the right eye. And he said, no, just lean your head over and use your left. Dude, I'm lacing them now. My grouping is so much better when I use the better eye.
You use the proper eyeball, yeah.
I didn't know. And he told me eventually you're going to want to have both eyes open anyway. You learn to shoot with both open. So, I don't know. I've heard that from people for tactical, peripheral vision. You have both eyes open. So that seems like a bit of a challenge, but I'll figure it out. So, but I've been to the range quite a bit lately. So
that's how you got to do it. Train.
That's
no
it.
Such thing.
Repetition. Like literally everything else in life.
Yeah, that's right.
I feel like this house is going to need some new paint.
Paint, maybe some new shutters. I haven't decided yet.
I think so. There some new crown molding is in order.
Yeah,
remodel
the bathroom, but that's it.
Might as well get new cabinet pulls.
All right. Now that's it.
Hey, you've always wanted vertical blinds. We've always had horizontal.
It doesn't need anything else. If those few things are put back on this house, it will be market ready because I don't see anything else wrong with it.
Right. So, yeah, that is an unfortunate thing to have happen.
Yeah, kaboom.
Kablooey.
And that's the house of Dixie, the hooker who saw Amanda Hunsaker jump on the car. But why would you want to do? Why would you want to kill her?
That is not the house of Dixie. That was the house.
It was. Now it's in a bunch of pieces.
Right.
That's where Dixie used to live, and it makes you wonder why would you want to kill a prostitute? But apparently, she knew something she was not supposed to know. And I think, no, never mind. Forget it.
So then they talk, and then remember they talked to those little kid witnesses on the street.
Because they were playing across the street in the driveway.
Right. And then the kid's pointing out the tattoo here. What is this? What was this squad tattoo again? What was this again?
It's the Special Forces.
The Vietnam shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Special Forces group he was in Vietnam, and the little boy's telling him that the guy he saw there earlier who was planting the bomb had the same kind of tattoo like on his arm right there. Because
Right.
he was like acting like he was checking the meter or something, but he was rigging up the bomb. And it was Mr. Joshua, the guy from the scene earlier where you saw the guy with the lighter. He had the lighter, Mr. Joshua, because the guy was like, "Hey man, you trust these fucking psychos?" And then the leader was like, "I trust them with my life. They'll do whatever I tell them." And he grabs his lighter and lights it. Mr. Joshua puts his arm over the flame until the guy tells him not to, tells him to stop. And so that's Mr. Joshua in the helicopter there about the
Right.
smoke.
And this is Hunsaker, right? This is the dad.
Yeah, Michael Hunsaker. Yeah.
Right. And they're at a very safe, posh location. Or so they think.
You think so?
Until a man on a helicopter decides to take care of business from outside.
Yeah. It's all fun and games. It's all a very nice, peaceful place until the guy showed up with the AR-15.
You know what he was telling the other bad guy before he shot him? He said, I thought since I was right-handed, I had to use my right eye to look down the sights. And then I was with my friend. He told me, no, if your left eye's a little bit stronger, use the left.
Not right now.
Fucking laced it, dude. Fucking laced it.
Dude, yeah, he smoked him, dude, pretty bad. And shot him through his back and through the carton of eggnog he was holding in his hand. That was pretty cool.
Again, Christmas.
More Christmas.
Where do you come down on eggnog?
Delicious. Love it.
I love it. Now, you know what I didn't know till I was older, because in my family, there's not drinking, there's not drugs, there's not smoking and all that in my family. I didn't know people drank at the holidays, and I didn't know people ruined eggnog by putting rum in it. It's delicious the way it is. Leave it alone.
It is, but the rum adds
drunk for everything. Can you just show up in life and be normal?
That rum adds a little something extra there. But yeah, eggnog's good. There's one, I think it's the San Francisco Creamery. That's a good one.
Oh, is that gay dance club?
No, like actual cream from a cow, not cream from one of those guys. And Bud's eggnog is really good.
All right. Wow, you are an eggnog connoisseur.
That's right, man. My dad used to make it homemade every year. But yeah, eggnog is the shit.
Again, not a substance guy. So I don't understand the whole getting trashed at your wedding, getting trashed here, getting trashed there. It's like, isn't this event enough? Isn't all the love and the family and the food and aren't you happy already? I don't know. It's
For
never,
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't drink at all, but yeah, I get it. I think in moderation, it's cool. Like if everybody shows up to Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever with a designated driver, and nobody gets too fucked up, I think, yeah, it can be enjoyed responsibly, but that's not always the case.
I feel as though it's superfluous, which is a word that the pronunciation bothers me, because when you read it, it looks like it says superfluous, but it's superfluous. I don't like that. I don't know.
Change that shit.
Oh, shrapnel. He says you put brandy in it. See, when I tell you guys I don't drink, I'm being honest. I don't know. I said rum.
Yeah, my dad put brandy in it. One time he put too much.
I don't even know what brandy is. I couldn't tell you the difference between brandy and rum. I don't know. Rum is clear. I know that because I saw the parrot, Captain. It's a guy with a parrot. It was like Parrot
Captain
Morgan, something, and the bottle was clear. So I know that rum is clear. So brandy.
No, rum can be brown too. Rum is brown too.
Brown. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Made from sugar cane.
Ah, okay.
I'm not sure what brandy is made from, but brandy is.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Why rum has such like a Caribbean branding to it, with the sugar cane in the Caribbean. Okay, that makes a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Hunsaker is like Dixie's home. He is no more.
He's out of here.
Yeah.
Bye.
I love him shooting at the helicopter with his.
Yeah, he just fucking. How cool would that be? Just unload. You don't have to worry about hitting anything. Behind the target, and he just gets to unload 2 magazines on that fucking helicopter.
But look at this.
Right there, with how close it is, I think he could have hit it.
I think so. And if he was special forces in Vietnam, he's a great shot.
Yeah, but by the time
rum can be black, how can booze be black? What would they put in it? He said rum.
I don't know.
Black. That's disgusting. They put like licorice. I remember there was a type of booze that was licorice flavored. It's got a reindeer on it.
Oh, Jägermeister.
Jägermeister.
Mm-hmm. Jaeger shots,
Jägermeister, I
dude.
believe, means master hunter in German. A Jaeger is a hunter, and a Meister is a Meister. It's a master.
Hence the deer on there.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense.
Shoot that deer in the face.
Oh, it's molasses. Yuck.
Yeah, molasses is really, really dark.
Yeah.
Really dark. But
Anyway,
rum can be clear or brown, and it will fuck you up.
What is, if you're going to drink, Jericho? What do you like to drink?
Hard alcohol or beer?
Liquor. Like, yeah, not beer, liquor.
I mean, if I have to drink liquor, I don't know. Something like vodka, maybe.
What will you not go near? I hear a lot of people say tequila is like the worst.
I'm cool with tequila. I won't go near Southern Comfort. Ooh, ay.
Did you have a bad you have some discomfort with Southern Comfort once when you were younger?
Rough evening off of that stuff. Yeah, no thank you. Won't touch this stuff.
Ugh, I hate that when you get sick eating a food that you liked and then you never want to have it again.
Go too hard in the paint, man.
I ate these Maui onion potato chips once.
Which ones? The purple bag or the orange
purple
one?
bag? A purple bag of Maui onion chips.
Sweet onion.
Ended up throwing up real bad later and like never again. I don't want to eat them. You know,
can't do it. Those are some good chips, man. You lost a good thing.
I loved them, but I didn't like refunding them to the toilet, and then it wasn't
like yakking them back up. That's never.
I made a barbecue chicken and red onion pizza once when my kids were young, and they liked it. And then my son threw up later that day, and I think he was like 8, and he's never had chicken pizza.
He's like, well, can't eat that shit anymore. Thank you very much. Yeah, once your mind is decided on something, that's it.
Right.
Never again.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're doing more investigation. Who's he talking to here? I can't see who this is.
Talking to another lady of the night.
To
get more information about Dixie, because that was her house that went kaboom. So he's showing them and like, oh, you ever seen her with somebody else? Blah blah blah. And she's like, nope, sorry. And then Mr. Joshua rolls up in a car and fucking gives Riggs a shotgun blast to the chest, puts him through a store window. And then Murtaugh was close by. He comes over, shoots a few rounds at the car, but they get away. And he's like, oh shit, Riggs. He opens his shirt, sees that he had a vest. He's like, oh, smart man. But he knocked the wind out of him and shit. And you could see there's like a bunch of little holes. So it was obviously pellets. It was birdshot, but not buckshot. Birdshot. Buckshot is bigger.
Oh, so it was the little ones, the little babies.
Yeah, birdshot are the little tiny ones. Buckshot are like fucking bigger, like ball bearings. There's like 9 of them. Yeah, it's like nine buckshot versus a fucking 100 bird shots. Yeah.
And then I heard a thing where farmers will put rock salt in like shotgun rounds to like shoot at varmints and stuff.
Yeah, if you don't want to kill them, or people, if you want to kill them, but if you want to sting the shit out of them, that'll work. But had he shot him with buckshot, he probably would have killed him, and had he shot him with a slug, that would have killed him whether he had a vest or not.
Right. That would have been curtains for Riggs. He would have got his wish finally.
Yeah, finally, you don't got to do it yourself. We'll send you to the angels. So he tells them, he's like, what the fuck are we going to do now? Murtaugh, he's like, well, we're going to enjoy the fact that they think I'm dead because I'm a corpse.
Right. Good strategy. This is good writing. And again, this is Shane Black. He's written a lot of movies that are great action stuff. And I always say this, as a writer, I'm impressed with some of the things in this. I think that's such a great plot device. The bad guys think they killed Riggs, so now Riggs is smart enough to use that to his advantage. That's really brilliant writing. They come home to Casa Murtaugh
because they got a call
wake everyone up.
Because they got a call on the radio. His daughter was going out on a date, and he asked what the kid looked like, and she described him. Then the dispatch gets on and gives a description. And he's like, "Oh, next you're going to tell me that he has blonde hair and big dimples." And she's like, "How did you know?" He's like, "Oh fuck." He's like, Riggs get in the car, and he put the lights and sirens on. And he take off. He's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I think dispatch just described the boy that my daughter is on a date with." So he's going back to the house to make sure that his daughter's okay and they didn't fucking take his daughter.
Right. Can you imagine? He comes in, the wife's like, "Where were you guys?" He's like, "Oh, we were talking to hookers, and he got shot with a shotgun."
Yeah. Anyway, is any food left? Wait, no. Back up to the hookers part.
Right.
So yeah, that guy on the phone, not him, but
Right.
yeah, that guy. He's from Lethal or Action
Action
Jackson. As
Jackson.
well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like the you said the Action Jackson prequel.
Yep. Right before.
Got about 4 or 5 people from it. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, he's rushing back to the house to see if they got his daughter, and they did. So he's calling a cop buddy. And he's talking to this fucker, and he's telling him where to meet him and all that kind of shit, what time to be there and stuff, so he can get his daughter back.
Jennifer Norwood, Shane Black from Predator, the one and only. He's a talent. Look him up on Wikipedia, what he's done as a writer, the things he's written, the things he's directed. He's a great action guy, a very good action guy. So, and he was also, and as you say from Predator, he was the nerdy guy reading the Sergeant Rock comics with glasses. That's our Shane Black right there. So, yeah. So they're heading out to go see what's up with the daughter out in the middle of the desert out there. So this would be east of Los Angeles, most likely. And they're taking
way out there.
Yeah, way out there. It's the distances are not far in real life, but with Los Angeles traffic, the time is far. Because if you go from Hollywood to like Pomona and Riverside out there, it might be like 20 something miles, but it's going to take you maybe an hour or two, possibly more if it's bad traffic. So but physically it's not that far, to drive.
Unreal.
Yeah.
LA traffic is unreal.
It's the worst. I drove from San Diego to the Staples Center to watch. Remember when Kobe Bryant was all that trouble and he was going to court in Colorado?
Whoops.
Do you remember the time he was in court in the morning? Then he flew back to LA and joined the Laker game and won the game at the buzzer. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I was at that game. I drove from San Diego. I was at that game that night. Also, Kobe's accuser went to my college. You know that? Yeah.
Did you have something to do with that?
Did what?
Did you have something to do with that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah,
Swear.
we won't get into any particulars about anything like that. But I drove from San Diego with my friend, with Merlin and some his girlfriend and stuff, and his brother to go watch that game from San Diego to the Lakers Staples Center. It's 110 miles or something. I don't know. 4 hours. 4 hours to go just over 100 miles because of the insane traffic.
Yeah, it's unreal, man.
Yeah.
You think, where the hell are all these people going? I don't know, but they're all here.
She's saying escándalo. Yeah. I had nothing to do with that other than I went to the same university. So
Okay.
Nothing whatsoever.
Okie dokie.
Nothing whatsoever.
No. That's cool. We believe you. No.
All right. So we're heading out to the desert in the station wagon with the wood grain panel.
Let's go party in the desert. Riggs is getting in position. And because Riggs tells him when he's leaving his house, when he goes over there for the first time, he tells him how I was 19 years old and and I had a shot over 1,000 yards, hit a guy. He's like, killing is all killing is all I'm really good at. Because he tells him, he goes, if you can go tomorrow without killing anybody, then I'll trust you.
Right. And I love minor detail. I love that he's wearing the right colors for the setting he's in.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the brown pants, the brown gray jacket there. It's good. It's smart.
Any sniper would. You want yourself to blend in and not stick out, so you can sit there and get your shots.
And we haven't touched on it much, but the girl, the Hunsaker girl that was killed, and all that, and the bad guys, they're drug guys, and they're bringing heroin, right? They're bringing like heroin in from Vietnam.
Yep.
They're bringing heroin in, and she knew a little too much, and that's why she went swan diving off that building. That's what's going on here. So that's what these guys are trying to protect their interest in making a lot of dirty money selling smack to kids. Terrible.
Damn it.
Terrible.
Damn it.
Terrible.
Oh, there's too many kids, tied off with a spoon, but yeah, definitely selling some poison.
Oh.
And he's telling them, hey, bring me my daughter right now or we all die.
Right.
Pull the pin and fucking kill us all. They're like, you're not going to do that shit.
Right.
You're not going to fucking do that. So put the grenade down, and he pulls the pin and throws it. And they're like, fucking jump. And then it turns out to be like a smoke grenade. And then Riggs just starts fucking pew, pew, that's picking those fuckers off. But as you can see, somebody found him.
I always wonder why bad guys get the drop on the good guy and they point the gun at him and take him instead of just shooting him. And now I know for the story you need it, but wouldn't the bad guy just kill him in real life?
Yeah, but as a real life bad guy, don't ever march the fucking good guy badass back to your lair. Shoot that fucker right there.
March him to your lair, then tell him your entire plan while he wriggles out of the handcuffs while you're talking.
Yeah, and if your boss wanted him alive, deal with your boss, but it's better than having him break out of his restraints and then fucking shoot you 8 times. So
I've written a lot of action crime stuff. I've been writing a lot lately, and you do have to keep the good guys alive, and you have to find plausible reasons. And in the thing I recently wrote, instead of shooting the good guy easily, the bad guy wanted to make it slow, do it with a knife, and mock the good guy, and it gave the good guy time to get done what he needed to get done. I feel like that's believable that the bad guy wanted to be sadistic, because I established in Act 1 that he killed someone else that way, the bad guy. So then later in Act 3, I could get away with it. So and that's how you do that, kids.
Smart.
It's a lot of fun. One of the big tragedies of this movie is the death of that family station wagon. A lot of memories in that thing.
Yeah, and then in the next one, in part 2, it gets fucked up again.
Right. Took the kids to Shakey's Pizza in that thing.
Now it's shaky.
You ever been to Shakey's Pizza?
Never.
Oh, I don't know if they have them in Northern California. They had hundreds of them in the 60s or 70s or whatever. There are a few left in like Los Angeles stuff, but they did pizza, fried chicken, and mojo potatoes.
All right.
Mojo potatoes are like you slice a potato the long way and then just fry it. So you're frying those big flat circles like that. I think they lightly bread them too. And then it has some video games like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. But not many, just a couple games.
That sounds like a good night.
I don't know.
But no, never. There weren't any Shakey's Pizza where I were growing up. There was like Round Table and stuff like that. Next time you guys go to Monterey, you got to go to Gianni's Pizza.
I went. I got it.
Oh, you did?
It was delish, dude.
Yes.
So I went with my bride for our 28th wedding anniversary a month ago. It was November 13th. We were in Monterey. This Jericho's old stomping grounds. It was right there by Salinas and Monterey. And what was it? What is connected to Monterey?
Pacific Grove.
Pacific Grove.
Yeah.
And before I went on my trip to Northern California, Santa Cruz, all that, I text Jericho. I'm like, okay, where do I eat? Because you used to live there. He hooked me up with like 10 different restaurants. Bangers, all of them. Holy shit. Thank you. We ate so good. We ate so good when we were there. That what's it? Awakenings, like Great Awakenings.
First Awakenings
is like a hippy dippy breakfast place, man, and it was so effing good, so good. Yeah,
so true.
If you're in the Monterey, Salinas, that Monterey Bay area, Jericho knows where to eat apparently because it was amazing.
So that's me. I'll point you in the right direction.
We went to Rosine's, dude, and I had this breaded Italian steak. Ridiculous. It was so good.
Yeah, off of on Triple D. That had been on Triple D.
It was on Triple D, yes.
Yep, sure was.
Yeah. Shakey's, they fried the pizza in the same grease as the chicken. Don't tell me that. Oh, really?
It sounds great.
Was Murtaugh also a Vietnam vet? Yeah, isn't that how he knew Hunsaker, right?
Yeah. There's that picture. And then both in their uniforms. But yeah, that's how they met. That's how all the fucking guys met in these old action movies. In Nam.
Back in Nam. Mr. Reese said they had a Shakey's in East San Jose in the 90s. So there you go.
Okay, East San
Ho. Air America is a really good movie, particularly if you like Mel. I don't know what Air America is. What is that?
I think it's like a Vietnam era movie. I don't remember. I haven't seen it in fucking years.
Did you ever go to Chuck E. Cheese as a child?
Oh yeah, I had my 6th birthday party there.
Okay.
Those animatronic fucking rats.
Right. Yeah. In my wife's sister, who's a year older than my wife, was Chuck E. Cheese in high school. She would dress in the rat suit. So there you go.
Yeah, the eyes blink all fucking creepy and shit.
We didn't have Chuck E. Cheese in Colorado when I was a little kid. We had Showbiz Pizza. It was the exact same thing. But their main character was Fats Gorilla. He was like Fats Domino. But he was a big gorilla that played the organ, and they just like kind of turn and they make their crappy music or what.
Mhm.
Don't they do like old 50, like, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, but it's like a gorilla singing it or something?
Yeah. It's because they didn't want to have any copyrights on the music. They want copyright infringement.
There's something I've wondered for a long time that I haven't been able to figure out. Why is Chuck E. Cheese like ghetto? When you go to Chuck E. Cheese, sometimes the clientele could see. I haven't been there in years, like probably 10, 15 years. But the last time I went, and I've noticed they have signs on the doors that say no guns allowed.
Yeah. How's that?
I don't understand. That's a weird thing for a kid's pizza place.
It's because they have to. That's why they have those signs, because they have to.
I guess.
If they don't, somebody's going to be up there with a gun tripping because you cut in front of my son at the little wooden ball things that they fucking throw. So,
my absolute favorite thing about Chuck E. Cheese, and I will move on from the Chuck E. Cheese segment of the show. My favorite thing about Chuck E. Cheese is his name is Charles Entertainment Cheese, and that is not a joke.
Entertainment? What a fucking weird, stupid ass entertainment. Oh
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Oh, makes sense.
Oh, you had Godfather's Pizza, old Renaissance boomer. I got to go with Godfather's Pizza. I remember going to Godfather's. They had an all-you-can-eat pizza lunchtime buffet. And when I was in high school, I worked as a gardener mowing lawns with my cousin on the weekends. And he would take us to eat. Me and my brother, we were high school football players, so we would like, eat like monsters. He would buy us lunch, and it was like, $6.99, $7.99 for a pizza buffet. And we would just stuff our faces with pizza at lunch. It was good. Oh, she says Charles E. Fromage. That'll be the French version. Fromage.
Fromage. I don't think he's classy enough to be.
Charles, you have some champagne with your pizza.
Ho, ho, ho.
I have a friend from Paris. He's a good friend of mine. He's works with me on Big Man Comics. He's an illustrator, draws some of the books I write. And he's very French. He is very French. And I was teasing him. I was like, why do you guys laugh like, ho, 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 ho? Yeah, well, you Americans laugh like, ha, 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 ha. He says, all big and loud is how we laugh. So
that's true. That's how we do it. America.
That's how we do it here, baby. Everything's big.
America.
Big, fast, loud. That's the American way.
Because we don't have baguettes sticking out of our grocery bags. Right. That's not cool.
What's up with that in every movie? The bag has the celery.
Has some green. Yeah.
The celery or the carrot, like little leaves on the carrot. By the way, when was the last time you saw a carrot with the leaves on it still?
Never.
They take those off.
Never.
They don't come.
I don't know what that is. It's something that's aesthetically.
Celery, the breadstick, the carrot, all sticking out of the bag.
Like it's aesthetically pleasing to us. Like, they're eating healthy, or I don't know what the fuck that is. Right. You can find them like maybe at a farmer's market, but not in a fucking grocery store. Ugh. Chop that shit off.
So now they're captured. And this is not good. He is being electrocuted. That's not good for him.
It's never good when the main good guy gets caught by the bad guys.
Nope.
Never good. They never try to understand.
Chained up, wet, and zapped. Getting zapped. So
who is he getting zapped by?
Gary Busey.
And he's getting zapped by the Asian dude with the mustache.
Oh, Al Leong. Al Long.
Bam.
Sorry, I thought you were saying who's in the picture. That's Gary Busey.
No, but Gary Busey, the other guy, he's zapping him. He has like some sponge on these card charger thing. And he's fucking up. And in the other room, they're beating the shit out of Murtaugh and then putting salt in his wounds.
Ugh.
He's like,
these are not nice.
Daddy, no, Daddy. And he's like, yeah.
You had to go on a date with this moron.
Yeah, I told you to stay your fucking ass at home. You're too young to be dating. Look what you did to me.
Yeah, what are you wearing, young lady, by the way?
I think I don't think she was wearing that. I think maybe they ripped her clothes off or something. So I don't think old Murtaugh would be going for that bullshit.
No. Because you got to consider, if this is 1987, that is beyond hoochie to dress like that.
Yeah, if you dress like that, I'll kill you.
Right.
That's a bottom line.
Are you looking forward to having to deal with that as your children age, the crazy, woke, trashy world?
I don't think I'll have to worry about that. My daughter is based, as they say. Anything weird she sees, she'll tell me about it and tell me how ridiculous it is. We have some pretty good talks about stuff like that. My son, I don't know. He's almost 9 years old. I don't think he gives a shit about anything yet.
No, he's interested in candy and video games right now.
Yeah, and football. So
Candy, video games, football, dinosaurs, volcanoes.
yeah, he's oblivious to all that
Right.
shit right now, which is great. But
I
with
was
my
kind of
son,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think if when that time comes, I can be much more blunt,
Right.
with him. But with my daughter, I have to say it in a way that she'll hear. With my
Right.
son, I can be a little more raw and uncut with
Right.
him. And hopefully, I think so. I think he'll see through the bullshit because his mother and I don't go for the bullshit. So they have no
No.
blueprint for being stupid. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
gotta
they'll
you
be. I
gotta
don't
speak
think
up
they'll-
about it, even when it's uncomfortable. You have to call it out. You have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, everything has gone wrong. He lost the station wagon. It seems his daughter has been, her dignity has been stripped away along with her clothes.
Mhm.
He's getting zapped by Al Long, not Gary Busey, and rubbing salt in the wounds. Guys, nothing's working out. This is bad.
Not good.
This is bad.
Not good.
Bad guys are laughing. They're making fun while they do this.
Mhm.
That's horrible.
Poking fun. Yep.
Piss you off more. Then he does what does he do here? He does like a muscle up fucking weird move to get himself off these
Yeah,
chains.
he pulls him, or he wraps his legs around that dude's head, his neck, and he fucking like chokes him to death and breaks his neck with his legs, and then pulls himself up because he's like his hands are tied together and he's like the rope's on a hook.
Right.
So he pulls himself up, gets his hands off the hook, and then fucking now Riggs is loose.
Riggs
He's
is
loose in the
loose.
building.
He was already crazy before any of this happened. He's just crazier now.
Yeah, now you electrocuted him. He's fucking
You
insane.
gave him extra power when you zapped him.
Yeah, he stored all that energy.
Right.
So
I'm just
now
charging up, baby.
he has a gun and he's running loose in the fucking rust factory. So now they're in trouble.
They're in a rust factory. That's a new one.
Everything's
We
fucking
make American rust. We do not allow the cheap Chinese rust to be imported to this country.
Yeah, we make our fucking own rust right here in the United States. Fuck Chinese rust.
Right. For those of you playing at home and are not familiar, what we've discovered in Double Impact in the couple years we've been doing the show, the elements of action movies is the factory. There's something dangerous and masculine about it. But none of these factories make anything except sparks, full-blown electrical arc, flame, magma. Sometimes they make steel products, but we're unsure what it is, and rust now. Oh, and there's also steam factories too.
Don't forget steam. That's a major fucking export.
Right.
And all these places are situated, no matter if it's a steam factory, the spark factory, now the rust factory. Right. They're all down by the docks.
Right. Right. Well, you got to get the sparks on the container ship and on the boat and get them to the other country. You gotta
that's true.
We're exporting American steam.
Yes, right. We got to get our American steam around the world and show them that it's the best steam out there.
Right. Steam, sparks, flame, molten metal, rust.
Buy American. Right.
And sometimes full-blown electrical arcs are shipped, are made at these factories.
But those, you got to really look for those.
Yeah, though that's a dying industry, really. They kind of changed more to spark factories.
Yeah. I was fourth generation. I was supposed to be fourth generation spark maker.
Right.
But
you were apprenticing and then they shut it down.
They shut it down, man. And then I had to take my spark dreams, if you will.
Right.
Somewhere else.
Right. No, my great grandpa, he worked at a steam factory in the mountains of Colorado, actually. They made a lot of good steam there for a long time.
Yeah, it was good. And then, China and Mexico come in. Now they're making the steam.
They're making the sparks. Steam. It's not the same.
Like if you hold them next to each other, a Mexican spark and an American spark, there's a stark difference.
Right.
There's a stark spark difference.
We need Matthew Marsden to read this. We have the best steam factories. Believe me.
Believe me, beautiful sparks. Best sparks, red, white, blue sparks.
And the spark factories.
And he's gonna do that's the first thing Trump said when he ran for re-election is I will bring the spark factories back to a thunderous applause.
Right.
I must say.
Yep.
Good man.
Huge sparks. People are saying
Huge.
people are saying these are the biggest sparks they've ever seen.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying it.
But you know, that's what's been bringing this country down is Big Spark.
All right.
And you know, Big Spark, Big Steam, Big Molten Metal. We need
Right.
to get back to the grassroots mom and pop sparks,
Right.
mom and pop
Right.
steam
Artisan
companies.
steam, you know, handcrafted.
You remember growing up, every neighbor, every small town had a spark factory,
Right.
had a steam factory. Your dad worked there, your uncle worked there for 30, 40 years.
Right.
They retire, get a good pension from making all American steam.
And my dad would come home, not a single wrinkle on any of his clothes from all that
Dude,
steam.
everything was wrinkle free because all the steam, dude, working hard, making steam 10, 12 hours a day. I come home with a fucking steam factory, these fucking kids, you know, like it was a good time.
Like It's a Wonderful Life. So why the hell we have all these kids anyway? It's so mean. He says it in front of the kids.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as mean if he didn't say it in front of the kids.
I don't know why the heck we've had all these kids anyway.
Oh, who had all these damn kids anyway?
Like, well, you're the one that likes fucking, so I guess that's how you have all these kids, genius.
So we're gonna have to share the blame on this one, homeboy.
Really?
But you know, it ended well. The movie ended.
All right, so they're gonna make their escape. This is back at the club, right? Back at the nightclub that the bad guys kind of have.
Yeah.
Right. What's going on here? Is she giving him a titty twister?
Well, he took her car. And she was, I'm gonna twist your nipple for that. So you can have a car, but give me that nip.
He's like, yeah. Joke's on you. I love that.
I love that shit. I'm a weirdo, bitch. Yeah, so you know, he took her car, she fucking squeezes nipple, now they're even.
You know another thing that disturbs me? I was not an adult in the 80s, obviously. But it seems like every metro of New York, Chicago, LA, from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it seems like the downtown was just porno, strip clubs, peep shows, adults only, XXX. Like, look behind him here. It says it on the marquee right above his head. It says adults only.
Dude,
what went on in the old days? It sounds insane.
Just coke and porn, looks like.
That shit was just everywhere?
Yeah, it was just coke, and then everybody go jerk off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ew. It's not the 80s I remember, damn it. But apparently that's what they did.
I love this scene. He's getting away in the car, and Riggs chasing him through the street.
Yeah.
With a gun. That's
classic
awesome.
Riggs. Classic Riggs.
Look at this. Old Renaissance movement. Maybe they'll have huge red, white, and blue sparks. They're talking about almost a year of celebrations for America's 250th, culminating in a celebration at Iowa State Fairgrounds.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. That's going to be insane. That's going to be the biggest party ever.
I love that it's a year and a half, too. I love that it's 18 months of celebration.
Yeah, he's probably planning it right now.
Right.
I can't wait.
Absolutely. Man. I love it. It's nice when the leader of your organization loves your organization and wants the best for it. What a concept.
Wait, what?
You telling me the leader of America should be America first?
What are you talking about, man?
Why would you want to? Oh, jeez.
Why would you say some weird shit like that? Like the leader of a country should love that country.
Jennifer Norwood wants to know what the gun Riggs has on his back here, Joker. Do you know? I don't know what it is.
It's like an MP5.
Oh, I guessed right. It's the 80s gun, the MP5.
HK MP5.
Right. The Heckler and Koch, or Coke, depending on how you want to pronounce that. MP5. You have the Tech 9, the Mac 10, the Uzi. Those are the 80s guns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uzi 9mm.
Right.
But yeah, that MP5, and that was into the 90s too.
Right. So how's this scene going to go down here? Because you got like a completely like photographic memory of this here.
Oh yeah, man, this is great. So Mr. Joshua basically goes one way, and then the old fucker who's his boss goes a different way. So Riggs goes after Mr. Joshua. Murtaugh goes after
and Riggs is going on foot after a car, which is insane.
Yeah, and he's catching him. But Mr. Joshua crashes, so it makes it a little bit easier for Riggs to catch him.
Uh-oh.
But Murtaugh, he's going after the older guy, and he gets fucking T-boned by a bus, and his car flips over. And oh, no, I take that back. Because remember when they went to the shooting range, Murtaugh goes, he's all, let me show you. Show me what I got. Because it was his birthday, so everybody's giving him shit. He's an old man now. And so he puts the target out there and he draws real quick. Boom! One right between the eyes. And he brings the target back and says, hey, not bad for an old man, huh? So here's a callback to that. The guy turned around, his driver is headed toward Murtaugh in the middle of the street. So Murtaugh draws his weapon. Boom, one shot hits the driver right in the head. Car goes crazy. Boom, gets hit by the bus, flips over. And the old guy, he's like reaching, there's grenades. There's a bunch of grenades and fucking drugs right there. And he's reaching for the grenades. He's like, no. And then boom, fucking blows up, kills him and his stupid driver, who probably already did.
Oh, and then Sonny was like, oh, that waste of cocaine.
Yeah, he was like dancing underneath the cocaine falling from the ground.
He's like, fucking... you know, people catch snowflakes on their tongue.
Yeah, he's like,
he's dancing around the street trying to catch the coke in his nose.
Yeah, he's like fucking pulling his nostrils open, fucking no pants. He's a real piece of shit. But yeah, there's fucking cocaine in the car. Kaboom. And now he's gone. So now we get to focus on Riggs kicking the shit out of Mr. Joshua.
Right.
So now they're headed back to his house. Because they know that's where Mr. Joshua was headed to try to kill.
And look at that little nod to the character, because in the second one, we have those South African apartheid guys, and look at the sticker on the fridge there at Murtaugh's house.
Yeah, free South Africa.
Right, and that's a big part of the plot.
That's who the bad guys are. South African.
Diplomatic immunity.
You kefalaba.
Right.
Yeah, they're South African. So yeah, they were already setting up part 2.
Yeah, Mel took a bunch of shots and turned Murtaugh's shot into a smiley face. Yes, we had a photo of that. Yeah. Yeah,
he sure did. Yeah, the shot that Murtaugh shot ended up being the nose in the smiley face. Dear bad guys, no one here but us cops. Because he drives the cop car into his fucking living room.
Right.
Because Mr. Joshua's in the house. Riggs puts the fucking because there's 2 cops out there watching Murtaugh's house. Mr. Joshua kills him. And so Riggs puts a nightstick on the fucking gas pedal.
Yeah.
It goes through the house, and then Mr. Joshua shoots up the car thinking someone's in it. And then the engine's like, the engine's revving. Yeah, the engine's revving. So Mr. Joshua reaches in there to take the nightstick off of the fucking gas pedal. And then you see that note, and then he turns around and Riggs is right there. Fucking brings him outside. And then Murtaugh is going to cuff him. But then Mr. Joshua's like, what? You want to go? Like, now's your chance. Don't be a pussy. Let's go for it. And then so Murtaugh fucking takes the cuffs off of him, and Riggs and Mr. Joshua go out in the front yard. It's a crazy fight scene, too. Like, it's a good fight scene.
And it's got the water from the broken fire hydrant, right? Or some broken plumb.
Yeah, the car,
going everywhere.
When he shot the cops, the car kept rolling forward. And then, he's like leaning on the horn. And then the car hit a fire hydrant, and that's the water that's spraying up in the air from the fire hydrant. And it's a great fight scene, man.
Good scene. Look at that. Great lighting, great water everywhere. Yeah, it's a great scene. Great action scene. Beats him down in the mud like the piece of shit that he is.
Yeah, he fucks Mr. Joshua up. Mr. Joshua fucks him up good too, but Riggs gets the best of him. And then they're taking Mr. Joshua into custody, and he reaches for the cop's gun, spins around, and then Riggs and Murtaugh both spin around right there. You see that shot. Boom.
Riggs and Murtaugh both deafen themselves temporarily. And
yeah, you see all this shit in the movies. They're doing all this shooting with no ear protection. Trust me, you'll be deaf by the end of the day if you do all this shooting with no fucking ear protection.
Right.
Man, guns are loud, even just pistols, but you get it like the ARs and shit and all that.
Dude, yeah, when you go to the range and someone is shooting a rifle, you could feel the air pressure when you're in the next row over or two. You could actually feel that air pressure.
Yeah. So imagine how loud that is. But yeah, they get the drop on him and fuck Mr. Joshua up. So
that's the end of Mr. Joshua and his boss. Send them both to hell.
Yeah, he goes, what happened to whatever so-and-so, the boss? He's like, he's barbecuing his nuts over on Wilshire Boulevard.
And then he visits the grave of his wife. So he's kind of arced here as psycho, angry at God, no family, just living alone as the angry hermit, going to commit suicide every night. And now he's He's got something to live for. You know what I mean? Something that he would die for.
Mhm.
It feels good. He has a new family. He's got the Murtaughs, and he's got this girl that likes him who's way too young, which is not good. It's a bad thing.
I mean, but I do think it's realistic.
It's like
you
a
know,
puppy love. Like she's
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
He's not reciprocating. The movie doesn't have anything disgusting like
Yeah.
that in it.
Not at all. He's even like kind of embarrassed by it. But
Yeah.
he comes back to the house and they're having, Christmas dinner or whatever. And he not only is he welcomed back to their house, welcome into their family, but he knows he is. He
Right.
knows that he's welcome there. He knows that he's part of their family now. And so that's kind of how the movie ends and there's the running joke that his wife's cooking is terrible.
Right.
Even into the second one, fucking
Yeah.
his wife's cooking is fucking awful. But he
Your
keeps,
wife's cooking was brutal. You couldn't tell her.
Yeah, and they don't.
No.
They don't say shit to her. But even though the food's horrible, he keeps coming back. Obviously not for the food,
Right.
but for the family.
Yeah.
Just to be around it. And not so much them being nice to him, but just to be around that family environment. I think that's what he likes.
It's such a good movie. The buddy cop thing is perfected here, kind of established. They'd already had it in the past, but this is the quintessential buddy cop of all buddy cops. There's always been rumors that there's a fifth one. I was looking online. Those rumors are like 7-8 years old already. I don't know if they would do
Please
it.
don't.
Why would you do that? They're very,
Please don't.
he's like almost 80. The other guy's almost 70. Just
yeah, like they wouldn't even be cops anymore. Like they would be like retired.
Like you're really too old for this shit.
Yeah. It's so old.
You can't say you're too old for this shit. You can't say you're too old for this shit, and then 35 years later, you're still doing it.
Still at it. I thought I was getting too old, but obviously
no. It would be 38 years. 38.
Yeah, I had another 38 years in me.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, had almost 4 decades left. I don't know.
No, please don't. Please don't even talk about doing a 5th part to this movie. Leave it. You already did us dirty with part 3 and 4. Please don't.
Well, this is a great one. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's good. Not appropriate for little kids. There's some boobies and there's
some language, some drug use.
But it's an awesome one. It's a really fun one.
I was watching it when I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a little different back then. I don't know. It feels like I don't know.
I sure did. And not only this one, but the second one too. The second one's fucking great. Just as good as this one.
Yeah, the second one is fantastic. I don't like the third or the fourth.
Nope. Stop at the second one. See the first 2 Lethal Weapons and be happy with that and enjoy it, and don't fucking ruin the memory of those 2 by watching 3 and 4.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna do with Lethal with Double Impact the rest of the year, because we do this Wednesday nights, and next Wednesday is Christmas. The Wednesday after that is New Year, so we will not be live streaming on those days, almost certainly. We may live stream next week on a different night. We might record something during the day and put it up for you guys. But I just wanted to say, if I don't see you guys till next year, thank you all so much. I am still posting my regular Tuesday and Thursday videos. Feeling my way through that. I've only been doing it for like 3 months, posting regular content. I'm trying to figure out what it is I want to say and what I want to talk about. But I just want to thank each and every one of you that has subscribed, that has watched, that has hit the like. Please do that now. And for all of you that support me at Big Man Comics, you make the dreams come true. I get to write and draw for a living, just like I did when I was a little kid. Thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure. And spending these 2-3 hours every Wednesday night with you guys, goofing off with our buddy Steven Seagal and Hulk Hogan and everybody that comes in on the show to visit. It's a delight, and I look forward to doing this for as long as possible. So, but I don't know what's going on with the rest of the year because the holidays might record something, might go live a different day. We'll let you know. I'll post it to my socials. Make sure you follow me also all over social media. All of Jericho's links are in the description. You got Green's house. You got the regular Jericho Green. You got Instagram, JG Talk. You got Green_Jericho on X, Twitter. And Jericho, is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say at the end of what could be the end of the year for this show?
Just to echo what he said, thanks you guys for everything. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being here every week. We look forward to doing it through 2025 and beyond.
Yeah.
So make sure your asses are here, and it's only going to get better because there are so many great movies out there that we haven't even talked about.
There's ones I put in the intro movie for 2024. I'll make a new intro movie for 2025. we haven't done Romancing the Stone, Blues Brothers. Like there's ones in there we need to get to. So the Street Fighter movie with Van Damme, we have to do that one. So
that's another. That's so
bad. That movie's unbelievably terrible.
Oh, and it had such a big budget. That's what the bigger the budget is, the worse the failure is.
Right. Oh,
and
of course.
For Street Fighter 2 Street Fighter, excuse me, the movie was like, I don't know if it came out in the summer or not, but it was like a blockbuster fucking hit movie. You have Van Damme as hot as possible in 1994. Raul Julia, Kylie Minogue, all these people involved in this movie. The video game, Gabe mentioned earlier that Street Fighter 2 came out in 1992. This is 94.
The biggest video game of all time, I think, was Street Fighter 2. That was a phenomenon, that thing.
And this is, they filmed this in 93. So this is a year. It came out in 94. So 2 years, just 2 years after Street Fighter 2 came out. This is perfect timing, huge. And it turned out to be a steaming pile of shit.
All right, guys. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I think that's gonna be it. I think that's gonna be it.
That's it, fuckers.
All right, we'll talk to you on a Wednesday soon. We'll come in with something nice. We'll come in with something fun. Talk to you later. Bye bye.